Yeah, I was looking you up.
As you should.
Who committed? Texas A&M just got a OT.
I know of Weston Davis.
Why I don't understand why would you still go to Texas A&M after when you know Jimbo Fisher, he can't control them kids. Bro, like half of them got busted for smoking marijuana in the locker room.
That's probably why they go.
Yeah, you got a point. It's like the old
Like,
Miami, bro.
Why would you go somewhere that's gonna restrict you? Like I could see, I could think of 20 athletes off the top of my head that would be more than willing to go to Texas A&M because of that.
Yeah, I got a Prince. What's good, Prince? Yeah, I can. Yeah, you right on that. Yeah, you right. Like a lot of players around here would go.
Oh yeah.
Do you think this is not what we were gonna talk about? But do you think how I'm doing? I'm doing good, bro. Just been working now. Like, how's it feel to go to freshman year? One of my old students. With marijuana, I'm sorry that I'm stuttering. I'm literally sending out the thing to people. With marijuana, do you think that's good, bro? Like, high school is fun, but it goes by fast as hell.
Everybody says it goes by fast, and then nobody believes it, and then it happens, and they're like, damn, like I really should have like...
Especially with us, we had COVID, bro.
Yeah, COVID for 2 years, like junior, senior year.
Oh, God, bro. Like,
I missed my junior football.
what's his senior year? Like...
Yeah, I didn't have none of that. I had my season lacrosse season, which is fire.
I had a half of baseball season, and it sucked because we sucked.
So you're talking about like
Where, like, if should marijuana... So, in track, there's this athlete, Tara Davis.
Yeah, I know what happened with her. She was
Why is that... if my opinion, if you smoke a blunt, some marijuana, and you go and run, and then break a record, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's impressive. Like, you should not be punished for smoking weed.
I mean, yeah, but like also you gotta think of it from like because the NCAA is run by a bunch of old heads, a bunch of old people, and in their time, you know, marijuana was considered like a negative thing. It was an illegal substance. Like you're not gonna go to a track meet hammered and go break records, you know, drunk, and then people are gonna be like, oh, like, nah, if you're like triple the legal like limit, it's not gonna be good, you know.
But what I'm saying is,
I'm not saying like because you know that the NCAA is actually reviewing marijuana on the illegal substance list.
But my thing is with that is those old timers would look at alcohol and be okay with it because that's what they drank. They used to drink alcohol like it was water. But, like, now, like, that new generation, like, the 60s, 70s generation brought back, the like, marijuana, like, and stuff like that. Except for, like, Lawrence Taylor, who did every single drug you could think of.
Yeah, and that one dude who did, who pitched a perfect no-hitter on acid, right?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about it. Like, that's what I'm saying, like, there's so many, like, stories out there, like, Pac-Man Jones, LaShawn McCoy. Oh, they all said, like, they would smoke a blunt before a game. Like, I'm sorry, but...
I mean, then there's Aaron Rodgers who's doing...
he's sitting in a dark room.
He's doing hallucinogenics before his MVP season.
He's tripping balls.
Right.
He's in it, like...
I mean, like, here's the thing. It's, like, it's not even that, like, I don't really care too much about substances, like, in the league. Like, people are going to do what they're going to do, and a lot of people don't get caught. Like, that's just the end of the day, bottom line. Like, they're not going and, like, you know, after these guys get their drug tests, they're not getting drug tested every week. Like, there's a lot of middle-of-the-line, bottom-of-the-line players. Like, let's say, like, there's a, like, special teams. Special teams players, right? Yeah. So there's special teams players. Like, a lot of those guys aren't getting drug tested because it's not like they're going out there dropping 400-yard, 5-touchdown games. Like, those special teams players are, like, they're getting, like, 2 tackles a game. They're not going to get a random drug test for no reason.
Yeah.
Like they're probably doing whatever, you know?
Yeah, that's, I feel like, the problem. Like, you see, like, these athletes, like, I forgot who it was. I think it was that video of DK Metcalf jumping, and then the next day NFL's contacting him to do a drug test.
Yeah, it's that stuff. Like when it was
someone that
Pat
big.
McAfee punted like a ball like 79 yards or something like, or
Yeah.
like 81 yards, and then like the next day he's getting drug tested. Like that's just like that's how it works. That's regular.
Yeah.
Like, but it's
stupid, but it's understandable because the NFL is such a big money organization.
yeah, and the NCAA makes a lot of money too. Like they make bread. Like I can see why the big leagues and like NCAA and those guys, like that's why that's why we have beer leagues.
Yeah.
That's why we have the adult leagues, like where people that aren't athletes anymore can get drunk or
imagine
like smoke marijuana and go play. But like in the big leagues, like
imagine
it would be fun. And also like think about it like this: if
think
you
of
were a
Derrick
parent,
Henry.
if you were a parent, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you got kids 9, 10 years old, and those kids watch the NFL, NBA with you, and they have idols. Like let's say when in 10 years. When Luka or Giannis are still the best players in the league, they're young, they're coming out of their prime, just like how LeBron is doing that now, and a lot of people's idol was LeBron, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you really want your 9, 10-year-old kids to be looking up to somebody, and then they find out that person is, like, a massive, like
Pothead.
alcoholic or a pothead, and then, like, they're going to think it's okay because their idol did it, and now your 9, 10-year-old is talking about, like, you can see it from that perspective.
But
like,
I can tell you
they're
this,
role models.
But I can tell you this, I was a substitute teacher. I had 6th graders, 7th graders, and 8th graders. I'd say about 75% of those kids have either smoked marijuana or smoke it every single day.
Yeah, you can say that, but that's also like a different demographic. Like, I mean, there's a bunch of different areas where there's not like there's one kid who's done that. Like where I grew up in like a small town in southern Connecticut. Like growing up, like it was not regular for especially at that age.
Yeah.
To be doing something like that.
But social media too, that's where I think social media comes in a factor. Like it's such a norm you see on social media.
Yeah, but
and
do
like,
you want that to be the norm?
No, but that's what
why they're
social
doing
media is pushing that norm. Like you have like these rappers, like you could tell me not rap is one of the biggest things right now in the culture of America. Rap is one of the biggest things.
And they have a huge influence, and they're the ones that are, they're talking about drugs, they're doing drugs, whatever.
Yeah.
But like that's the whole thing is like the NCAA isn't the rappers. They don't want to promote those drugs. They don't want like if your favorite player is Tim Tebow when he's on the Gators and like he's a God-loving Christian and like you're like let's say your family's really Catholic and you got a kid who loves football and he's super Catholic, prays before every game, right? And then you find out and he loves Tim Tebow. He plays quarterback. He's left-hander. Bam, Tim Tebow comes out. Yeah. I've been smoking pot for 3 years, and it helps me through, like, my pain and injuries and stuff. Like, yeah, maybe that's the case. Maybe it helps you. But now this 9, 10-year-old kid, that's like,
gonna be like,
it's going to be like, oh, yeah, now that's cool. And because this God-loving Christian did it, I can do it too. Yeah. And it's like, it's not even that, like, there's a reason we have age limits to this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's why they don't want the athletes to be promoting it, because the athletes are the ones, like...
The mainstay.
If I'm being real, the athletes are raising the next generation. There's a lot of kids out there whose parents don't raise them how they should, and they look up to the athletes who are playing to get that sort of like fatherly figure. They're like, oh yeah, that guy achieved all that success. Like I want to be like him, and if I want to be like him, and my mom and dad aren't around, and then that dude is like smoking pot and drinking, like it's just gonna end up putting them in a downhill spiral, and then they're not gonna be that professional athlete.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you're 9, 10 years old starting drugs and stuff, and you want to be a professional athlete, and then now you're drinking, like, every weekend at 12 years old, and you're smoking pot, like, I'm sorry, but what's the success rate that you're going to be a professional athlete if you're doing that? Honestly. Think about it. Right? That's just me.
Yeah, like, I understand it. Like, it's just, like, I feel like we need to loosen it a little bit. Like, because weed is doing so much things medically, because say like being a professional athlete is very stressful, so I can understand like an athlete going to smoke a blunt to like relax themselves, like to control their anxiety, but it's medical, like not like they promote it like medical, like if you get older and you turn 18, you turn 21 and you have anxiety, depression, if you want to go, or if you have like an injury, that's when you do it.
Yeah, but that's tiptoeing a line too, cause you could say like the people could, like the athletes should be like, yo, like weed has been so helpful for me in like my injuries, but don't do it till you're 18 and 21. Like some people are just not gonna listen. If they hear, oh, I keep getting hurt. Oh, like 16,
I can do this.
16-year-old that tore his ACL. Oh, the marijuana made me feel better. Like, they don't care about 1821.
It's like that opioid crisis.
It's
like
not
that
smart.
stuff.
If you're going to promote ways, like medical ways to get yourself better, and maybe even if it's psychological, whatever, like, it shouldn't be promoting drugs. We should be promoting therapy. Like,
Yes.
we should be promoting, like,
But
like
with therapy,
professional
they
help
give prescribed medical marijuana.
for people that are of the legal age.
That's what I'm saying, though.
So, yeah, but like that's what the athletes should be promoting. Because if the
That's what I
athletes,
said.
if the athletes promote marijuana, even if they say 18 to 21, people that are below the age are going to do it respectively.
Yeah.
If the athletes promote only therapy, then those athletes those child and teenage athletes go to therapy, and then once they get older, maybe if they're in a legal state, whatever, they're now the age after going to therapy, they could feel better about themselves. Now they don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
But then they get to a point where their therapist
Life's
is like, all
coming
right,
out
so like,
fast.
and then maybe they're getting hurt, like maybe like even like it has to do with cancer or something, you know, because they're talking about how maybe
curing cancer.
Curing is a strong word. It just helps with the pain, I guess. This is like theoretical, right? And then like they could get to that point, but like promoting those drugs, it's just like how a perfect example is Ja Morant and his issues with the weapon, right? Like
With the pew-pew, we call it here.
pew-pew. So he's like holding it, right? And it's like it's not illegal in his state, right? It is
Tennessee.
yeah, it's not illegal to have to hold a firearm. Like he
Pew,
did
pew.
nothing. He did nothing. Sorry, pew pew. He did nothing illegal technically.
Yes.
But
It's just his
Ja
friends
Morant,
around him.
Ja Morant, he's a pew pew. He is a role model to these kids because he's one of the biggest influences in the NBA.
Yes.
And if these kids are seeing him
Seeing
with
that.
they're gonna do it regardless of. Because guess what? Ja Morant came out with how many apologies now? Probably 35. Like he's talking about like
For
you
mainstream.
You should like I didn't do what I was
Went the
supposed to
table
do.
too hard.
Like
He's like,
I
knock
shouldn't
the
do
camera
this.
down.
Whatever. Right? He's like he's trying to say no, don't do it. Like whatever. But guess what? Kids are ignoring him.
Yeah.
Cause like they see
'Cause
that
they
and
saw
they're like,
that and they saw him smiling.
My idol was having fun holding a pew pew, right? And he was having fun and showing it off, and he was in the club, and like I want to be in the club, like I want to be in the club, like be rich, have girls on me, whatever, and like maybe that's like I gotta be cool, so I gotta have a gun,
Yeah.
right?
And that's
Pew, pew.
yeah.
Pew, pew.
Like that's what. You saying pew pew is the best thing in this fucking podcast.
So I'm just saying, like
I know.
it's the same.
It's the thing.
It's the same thing.
That's the problem with social media. It's portraying these things to these young kids that doesn't need to portray, for, especially with sports. Like you have like Ja Morant's the perfect example. And now another thing we're gonna talk about. This goes perfectly into this. Baby Gronk. This goes perfectly into social media.
Social media, Baby Gronk.
Baby Gronk. If you guys don't know, he's this 10-year-old kid whose father is ruining his life. Yes, he's setting him up for the future. I get that.
Setting him up for the future is a very strong statement. Because, like, yeah, okay, like, he's training to play football, but, like, you know how many people train just as hard as Baby Gronk and don't make it?
Yeah.
That's not, like, their whole life is professional football.
My mother. Or my father, either or.
Their whole life is professional sports, right? Like, if you train a kid from age 5 to be a professional athlete, there's still only a 7% chance or something around there that a kid actually ends up in the league.
And the thing is too, like, he's doing all this stuff, like posting all this stuff. When you went to a small southern Connecticut city. You had a small. I'm from up here. You know, you've been up here for like almost 3 years now. You know what it's like up here. Say he goes to a school like Chicopee High. He posts like, "Oh, I'm so good. I'm gonna take your girl. That's why your girl's watching me." You say that up here, we know what's going to happen to you. You've learned it now. You've been up here.
I'm not even worried about that because that's like if he's somewhere else and that's fine for him to say like cool whatever like he can post like well it's not even him posting it's all his dad. That's the issue that I'm gonna get into that.
Oh,
like,
I'm gonna.
But that's not. But like if he fails,
it's his dad's fault.
It's if he and you know what's gonna happen if he fails and because he's young now
he's 10.
He doesn't understand.
He's not even in middle school yet.
He's gonna get 2021, and let's say he's riding the bench on a D1 team or not even D1,
D3.
What if he getting hurt, like because he's like overtraining, whatever. Something happens like that, bro. Baby Gronk, bro, he's gonna resent his father.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to hate
I
his
feel like
dad.
he's already starting
like,
to.
He's going to be like, why did you do this to me? Why did you put this spotlight on me? And now that this spotlight's on me and I'm failing, he's going to have the whole world on his back, bro.
Yo, and he already does. And, like, that's the thing with his father is, like, I look at it, I'm like, there's his father's, like, in the interview, his father's like, I was a ex-high school star. You're living through your kid. But that said right there, you're living through your kid. And that's what I feel like there's a difference between LeVar Ball. And LeVar Ball would just say what he wanted.
LeVar talked, but LeVar made money from talking, whatever. But at the end of the day,
he promoted his kid, and his kid had skill.
And the difference between LeVar, I used to hate LeVar, but now to this day I kind of respect him a little more, just because back in the day, LeVar was a professional football player.
Yes,
he was on the Panthers, correct? I think it was the Panthers.
It was a team. I know it was like a newer team. He
was on the
Panthers.
Panthers.
The Panthers.
I think he was on the Panthers right about when they started, and. He was a professional athlete. As much as he might have gotten cut, he didn't get any minutes. Guess what? How many people get to say that they were on an NFL roster ever?
Not much.
Less than 1% of the world.
That is crazy though if you really think about it.
Isn't it? Think about it. This 10%, less than 10% of high school athletes go on to play college sports, any college sport.
And it went down because of our class too.
Exactly. And then I think right now it's around 8%. I think it's 8%. 8% of high school athletes go on to play in college. And then I think it's 2% of athletes go on to play 2 sports in college. And then 1% of athletes go on to play Division I sports in college. And then that to the league is also 5%. D1 to the league, 5% of players.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like he's putting so much pressure on this 10-year-old kid who's in 4th grade, about to be in 5th grade. You're putting all this pressure on him, and it's just this kid does not, he doesn't even know the real world. His father's showing him, let the kid be a kid. Let him go out and enjoy that childhood. Because it's so, we're 20 now.
Yes.
We look back now and we're damn, we missed out on stuff.
Yeah. And
we missed out. And this kid's going to look back and look at his father and be like, so you're telling me that I went out and, did this shoot. And, yeah, we made money. That, yeah, I'm set for a good couple of years in my life. Yeah, I'm set. But, Dad, I didn't have a childhood. I didn't get to go have sleepovers. Didn't get to go enjoy having a girlfriend, a 10-year-old girlfriend. You remember your 10-year-old girlfriend?
Yep.
It lasted a day, but it was the best thing in your life. You went up to your boys and be like, hey, I had a girl. Oh my God, I got one. Which one? That one. And you come home and you tell your parents, and the next day you break up and you come home and you're crying.
That's baby Gronk's the kid that's gotta be yeah, I got a girl, but she goes to another school, you wouldn't know her because he doesn't have the opportunity to get a real girl.
Because
so baby Gronk, bro, he whatever we're feeling right now about what we could have done in the past, quadruple that for him.
He's gonna feel that.
He's probably missing out on everything. His dad's is pumping out content every day.
Yes, and it's and he keeps saying, "Oh, I'm retiring." It's bro,
he's using his kid.
Yes, and that's why I feel once he gets into high school, say he's on he goes to a big a high school, good high school, and say he's a running back. He's a running back. He goes through that hole. It's some kid that's from Springfield, Massachusetts, who. You look at where he lives. He lives in the projects. His mother's working 3 jobs. He's gotta get that Division I scholarship to get his mother out of that school.
What's Baby Gronk gotta work for?
And then that's what I'm saying. He's gonna blow Baby Gronk up to get that scholarship. Baby Gronk's I already got mine.
Imagine when Baby Gronk gets old enough where kids actually start making fun of him and stuff.
Already started.
Because guess what? He's already big. He's big now, but let's say
he stops growing.
He stops growing. We don't know what he's gonna be like. He could end up being small. And if he's small and he's still working out, he could be huge. He could be buff and short. That's normal. But this dude is gonna get these all the athletes and stuff. People are gonna make fun of him. And if he goes and let's say he's really good.
Amazing.
He's amazing in high school. Those other teams, do you know what those crowds are gonna do to him?
What they did to Trae Young,
they're gonna clown him.
Zion,
and guess what? But
overrated.
the difference is those guys are the professional athletes. They weren't the ones that were pumped out on social media with no promising future.
But it wasn't by their fathers.
Yes.
And by people around them.
He's gonna hear the overrated chants, and he's gonna hear all these people talking mad stuff.
His father's just gonna keep pumping his head up.
And guess what? And he's gonna get to the point wow, really? I don't think I like when people talk about me like that. Because that was 7 years ago.
No one's ever said that to me.
That was 6-7 years ago when I was a kid, and I didn't have any control over that. Wait. You know who did have control over that?
You, Dad.
My dad. So now all these people are talking on me, saying all these negative things about me, but at the end of the day, it's my dad's fault.
That's not me.
It's my dad's fault.
And he's he's making him portray something like 10 years old is like 10 to like 16 is such a precious time because that's like the last years that you actually are a kid. You don't got a license yet. You can't go get a license until you're 16. You still go to juvie until like you're 16. Like you still can go to juvie when you're 16. But like sometimes they can, like some states they do put you like real prison.
Well, yeah, because they can try you as an adult.
Yeah, like the Pop Smoke killers.
Because if you do something bad enough to where like you know your intentions, like you're not a kid anymore. Like some things that happen, like
yeah,
they
that's
gotta
the
teach
thing.
you like an adult.
Like that's like the thing I feel like with this kid, like this world is so big. Like when he gets to high school and some kid goes up, say he's a sophomore in high school or a freshman in high school, some senior on the football team goes, hey, come to my car real quick. Gets into the car. He's with two of his other football players. Like, they're really good football players. Light one up. He don't know what that is. His father protecting him from that. They pass him it. He doesn't know what to do with it. He hits it. And next thing you know, he's like, oh, I like this. He starts doing it every single day now. He's spending his money that his father worked so hard for. And is spending it all on that. Is becoming a pothead. He's doing all this. This father not showing him what the real world is like. The real world is going to tear this kid down because his father's protecting him from what your father and a mother should be doing. But my question is, where is his fucking mother? Where is the mother? Like, I know damn well, your mother, my mother, would never let our fathers do that. Like, my mom may be 4'11" and a legal dwarf. No, I'll get yelled at. You'll hear that in a couple minutes downstairs. Fuck off. But I'm telling you, she would kick my dad's ass if my dad would do something like that to me.
Yeah, but like also like I could see that, but there's some situations, and also like if they're making real money off of it, like there's sometimes like I could see people like maybe they were struggling before the kid like started popping off on social media. Maybe she just turns a blind eye because as much as it might be embarrassing, the check's rolling in. Right?
Yes, the check's rolling in, and she'd say like she's a stay-at-home mom. And, like, that's how they're making the money, so I can understand that. But still, like, do you really want to have your son get put through that? Like, because he's not even in middle school yet, bro. Like, when he gets to middle school, it's a whole different world. So, yes, you are, Mom. We're not going over this. I will literally pull it up on stream what a legal dwarf is, and I will do it. You know I will, Mom.
Can't be using that word, man.
I'm a short person. I can say it. You've seen my friends. You're one of them. It looks like I have security.
Yeah, facts. When I'm around you, I feel like a bouncer.
On God.
I feel like a bouncer for some celebrity.
When I have Trey and Var, you understand, in the mall, it's kind of funny. Because they're looking at us.
Var's pretty tall, too.
Oh, yeah, they look at us and, like, they're all buff, and I'm over here like, hi.
Yeah,
like, I'm over here, like in high school. No one could find me.
You're like the freshman that hangs out with the seniors.
I was. I literally was.
That's hilarious, man. Like, oh wow, she's not a fan of what you just said to her.
I know. She'll throw a chunk like that.
Yeah, I cannot believe that you're disrespecting your mother like that.
She knows I love her. Damn, that list you.
I don't even think I can physically talk about baby Gronk anymore.
Like, I just think that it's
like
just
I think that kid, like I'm gonna like if ever in the future that kid like has trouble with like his upbringing and like he starts to like feel bad about what happened, like I hope that kid knows that there's open lines of communication for him in places, because like
I hope there's people reaching out to him.
Bro,
like to help
I'll
him.
even be like I know he I don't know, maybe someday I'll be something, right? Maybe someday I'll be working on ESPN or something like that, because hey. Yeah, I mean, hey, we'll shoot for the stars, right? But, like, if I'm somewhere and I'm some sort of personality and bro needs somebody to talk to, like...
1 minute. Mom, I am not afraid of that saying because you will be knocked out probably by 9:30.
I think it's so funny that your mom's in your chat.
Sometimes it's my father. Like... I don't know which one's which.
Yeah, well, right now you know.
Yes.
Yeah,
but,
the baby Gronk situation.
So, like... but and this goes into our next conversation. That will be a quick conversation. He ain't no LeBron. He ain't no Kobe Bryant. He ain't no player that was hyped up through high school that was put on ESPN. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Zion Williams, you put Bronny, where you put the games on ESPN. Like LeBron James and Kobe Bryant were put on TV at like 16 years old.
Yeah.
From freshman year, they knew that they were going to be a star in the NBA. They knew what they were going to be, and that's why I feel
That's
like...
because they got popular off of their ability.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what the problem is.
That's why Kobe and LeBron got drafted out of high school. Like, they were dogs. Like,
do you think that's going to come back now? Do you think college basketball, to switch this up real quick, do you think college basketball needs to fix that?
Well, it's not even about, like, college basketball. It's really more about the NBA's rules about, like getting to the league. Like, I mean, we've already got the... We are...
18's too young.
It is too young, but, like, they got the G League Ignite now and everything. Like,
yes.
That you can go straight from high school to...
Playing against G League.
Playing against, like, professional athletes.
Yeah.
That's why Scoot's getting drafted. Like, those guys...
Yeah, Scoot is... That's a linebacker.
Yeah, that's a big boy.
That's a linebacker. Talking about that real quick, because you got drafted by the Trailblazers, so why not we talk about it?
Oh, we're talking about the Blazers now. Yeah, Dame.
Will Damian Lillard...
Oh, man, you're a clown. Damian Lillard.
Will Damian Lillard stay with the Trailblazers? Because they drafted 2 guards, didn't they?
Yeah, but they always do. They drafted Anthony Simons. They drafted, like... they picked up C.J. McCollum, like, back in the day. Like, the Blazers just blazer, bro.
They picked up Chris Murray and Scoot Henderson.
Yeah, but, like, Scoot's going to be a dog.
I think Scoot and Lillard are going to be a great duo in the NBA.
So here's what's going to happen, right? Lillard's going to stay. Everybody's going to clown on him because he's like, oh, why you stand? Like, you could go win a ring somewhere. Like, because at this point, like, people are
jumping ship as quick as they can on teams.
Because, like, everybody's, people clown on, like, you know, like, LeBron for switching teams to the Lakers. Like, people are clowning on KD and Kyrie for jumping around. Yeah, KD doesn't. But, like, the fact that Dame has been so
loyal. He's an old school
that people
player.
are literally asking him to switch. Like people are like asking him to. It's not like
even the fans of Trailblazers are asking him to leave
because they're rooting for his success. And guess what? You know what the worst part is? He ain't leaving.
No, because he's too loyal.
He ain't leaving.
That's why I respect him though, because he's that old school player, like a Tim Duncan, like a Dirk Nowitzki, like Kobe Bryant, where he's like, I'm staying on my one team. They drafted me. They put the faith in me, especially because he's that small school kid that no one believed in him, and then he got drafted by the NBA and got drafted by the Trailblazers. And made his name. Everyone knows when you do this, it's Dame time.
And guess what? You know what everybody did to Dirk before he won his first ring? Because he was pretty old when he won his first ring. He was like, I think he was 32, 33 maybe. When he won his first ring, he was older.
Yeah.
And like, you know what people were saying up until he turned that age? Like, why aren't you leaving? Like, literally the exact same situation as Dame. But everybody forgets that happened because he won his ring. And now, like, oh, Dirk's top 20 player of all time. Like, yeah, I think he is.
He was already before that ring.
And, like, the ring don't really matter too much. Like, because his personal success, like, topped all that. But, like, that's what Dame, that's the whole problem with Dame. Like, Dame has been a consistent, he's a perennial all-star. He is one of the best scorers in the league, no matter how good his team's doing. Because his teams have been dog water, dude. Awful, man.
Worse than dog water. They're just shit.
Yeah, well, I can't say that.
They are dog shit.
Some of the teams he's played on have been like
Great Dane shit.
It's like the when LeBron won a championship and his second best player was Matthew Dellavedova, like because when Kevin Love was out, like and Kyrie wasn't playing yet. No, Kyrie wasn't playing. No, that was when Kyrie was really young and he was scoring 14 points a game off the bench. Because he wasn't starting that whole time, and there was some like there's a graphic, I can't remember where it is. There's like an NBA Finals graphic where it has like the starting lineups between the two teams, and it's like all these players, and then I think it was the Warriors, and it's LeBron, and it has like
LeBron.
It's like LeBron, and then there's 4 guys who weren't in the league in the next 2 years. Like it's pretty. I think Tristan Thompson was like his second best player.
Tristan Thompson's still in the league, right?
He was
for the Lakers. He played for the Lakers.
He was on the Lakers. I think he was this past year.
Yeah, they picked him up
because he was on another team, and then they got him.
They got rid of him, and then I think he went to the Lakers. Like I feel like with the Lakers, like in my opinion as a Laker fan, I think what we should have done.
Stop talking about the Lakers.
What I think we should have done last year. Well, even this year we can still do it. And I know you're gonna look at me crazy. Let's trade LeBron, get draft picks, and say Damian Lillard. We go up to the Trailblazers and we go, hey, we'll give you LeBron James for Damian Lillard, and a couple first round picks. Would you take that trade? Because LeBron is getting.
So if I'm the Blazers, and they come to me with LeBron for Dame and a couple firsts,
Yeah.
no, I'm not taking that trade.
Why?
Well, because if we're talking about like logistically, like what they're doing is they're getting more salary cap for LeBron, and then they're gonna get him for 2 years, 3 years, and he's gone.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying they should have did this last year.
Like if this was like, I would say I think LeBron is gonna make any team better. But at the same time, like, what made the Lakers great is that not only was it him, but his surrounding players. Like, he made the surrounding players better, and I believe that he would make, like, an Anthony Simons or a Scoot Henderson better. I think that, like, he could elevate...
Reeves, he did it to Austin Reeves.
That's what he did to Austin Reeves. AR, I can't say that. Because his number.
AR?
What's his, his number?
AR 15?
Yeah, I can't say that.
Oh. The Pew Pew machine. Yo, my brain was out. You had me thinking. I'm literally trying to figure out what you're saying. I'm like, what am I supposed to say a number? I'm gonna fail. Family Feud. You
got it though, but like that's the thing. Like I think. But like that's the thing. Like if you went straight up. Well, actually, you know what? If I'm the Blazers and they offer me LeBron for Dame, like straight up, I'm saying no.
Yes.
Because Dame actually wants to be there and do something, and they want Dame and they want to make something out of him, and they could trade those draft picks and get something more and like build a team. You trade Dame for LeBron, you're just going star for star. You don't make the rest of the roster better. And it's kind of a restart
too, in a way. It's kind of a restart because you are getting rid of a veteran, and then you're getting an older veteran.
Listen to this, yeah. So this is the Blazers. Oh, you're coming to me with LeBron. You want me to give you Dame and a couple draft picks, so you're gonna dump a player on me. That's
got
5 years older. 5 years older is $10 million more in salary cap, and I'm giving up my future draft picks. So not only is my team gonna be cut off in development for like 5 years, but also I'm paying more money for a guy who's gonna be around less long.
Yep.
What stupid? Like that's a terrible deal.
He's probably got. I'd say LeBron's got 3 years max left.
I mean, he's
I think he's going to play 1 year with Bronny.
He's playing the best basketball of his life right now.
I think he's going to play 1 year with Bronny.
The dude's averaging 28, like 8, and like 4
I know,
right now.
But I'm just saying, like, because I feel like he just wants to play with this kid 1 year. You get what I mean? I feel like that's what he wants, and I feel like once he does that, he's going to try to be like, I'm going to pass the torch to my kid. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I feel like, in my opinion, I don't think Bronny's that good. Compared to, I think he has the potential, yes. But the hype that they give Bronny, I don't think that they should. Only reason they're hyping him up is because it's LeBron's kid.
Yeah, but that's obviously like he's not as good as like he is very, very good. He's an incredible basketball player.
Yes.
He didn't commit to USC because he's LeBron's kid. He committed to USC on a full ride because he's an incredible basketball player. He was top 20 in his class. He deserved the scholarship. However, if we think that LeBron's son is going to be a top 5 pick in upcoming drafts,
no,
we are kidding ourselves.
He may go. I think. The newest thing, I think they said he was going to go 17.
I can see that.
That's the highest one I've seen so far.
Yeah, well, like, we don't know what's going to happen. Like, that's the thing. Like,
he may go out this year and literally average 20 points a game.
We try and predict what these 17, 18-year-old kids are going to be able to do in 3 years. He hasn't stepped foot on a college basketball court yet. Yeah, he played with a really good team, and he was a star on that team his senior year. Like his junior year, he came off the he was. I think he was a starter, but he was like the third, fourth high scorer.
Because they play that old school where you earn your spot.
Yeah, and that's valuable. Like that's good.
That's how I feel like it should be.
He goes to USC, the same thing's gonna happen, right? Oh yeah. Like, they're gonna play it the same way. They're gonna be like, all right, Bronny. Like I understand. Like you're gonna sell some tickets, whatever. Like okay, whatever. Like who cares? Who cares? Bronny,
USC, they play someone to start the season off this year.
I don't know I don't know their schedule. I have no idea.
Just know.
But Bronny's gonna. I think Bronny. You know what? This is my prediction, right? I think Bronny.
Or you can just look up the phone.
Oh yeah, that's great. But like at the end of the day,
yeah,
LeBron knows how basketball works. LeBron's not gonna be like, oh yeah. Do you think LeBron's gonna give all this money and expect his kid to start? You know,
I think his mom will.
Maybe.
I think his mom will. But I don't think LeBron. I think LeBron knows the business.
Daddy has the power. LeBron has the power.
You think he has the power? You've been in a relationship.
Dude,
does a guy have the power?
I'm not talking about a relationship.
I know, but I'm saying though. Do you?
I'm talking about for USC. For USC.
USC, not UFC.
I said USC.
Oh, I thought I heard UFC. I was like, they're fighting now.
When it comes to USC and LeBron, it's not gonna be LeBron's the one with the I don't even know the word for it. He has everybody around him. He's the one with the influence.
The coverage.
Yeah, the coverage influence. He's on the influence. It's not going to be like, mom might be like, yeah, I want my kid to start. Like, you're giving all this money. Like, he might as well be playing more. No, you think LeBron's going to be like, well, because I give all this money to USC? No, LeBron knows the game.
LeBron knows
He's been playing like this.
He's been playing for 20 years.
He's like one of the best team basketball players like ever. He makes everybody around him better because he's a great facilitator. He knows the game.
That's the difference between him, Jordan, and Kobe.
He is the best team player out of the three of them. Like, obviously, like, Kobe and MJ elevate them.
But that's why he has 4 rings.
Yes, but that's because of him. Because he knows how to teach the players the defense. He knows how to do that. Like, he's not going to just hand, like, all right, no, but USC, there's money coming and how much attention is going. Yeah, like, they'll have, like, nationally televised games.
I think their first game, hold on, let's look.
But he's going to play. Like, here's the thing. Like, he's going to play his freshman year. We all know he's going to play his freshman year. But, like, is he going to start? Is he going to play well? I think he'll average, like, 5 to 6 points per game, maybe even less. You know, like, he's going to play in every game of the season. We know that's going to happen. But, like, I don't believe that he's going to start, you know? Like, I unless he, like, really pops off and, like, okay. But I don't see it happening because the USC, like, especially over there, like, those guys are real serious about all that.
They have Boogie Ellis now.
Yeah, like, they don't joke around there. Like, it's not like you don't get handed anything. Because that program pumps out NBA level talent. And there's going to be players on the team that are better than him, and it doesn't matter how much money that program's getting from him. They're still gonna lock in, and that stinks. And they're not just gonna hand them anything. There's no handouts. Yeah, pass me one of those water bottles. Yeah. Here, fill this thing up. It's hot in here.
Oh God, and I can't have the fan on or it'll mess everything up. So they have Kansas State at Las Vegas. They play Iowa, Oklahoma, Seton Hall, Gonzaga, but it's pending. Gonzaga. That's going to be a decent game. I think Gonzaga may wipe the floor with them. But, I mean, they have a decent schedule. Not like D-Wade, Ray Allen.
I love Ray Allen.
Also, with those championships, do you count the Miami one?
Do you count the Miami
No, you
one?
count it, but I'm saying, like, for LeBron.
I mean,
does for being a team player. Being a team player.
If you want to be like that, then do you want to count every one of Steph's rings? Because
I don't know that one out. Steph is a different story.
Every
though.
ring counts. Every ring
I'm not
counts.
saying count. I'm saying no. I'm not saying like I misspoke. Let me finish this.
Okay.
So with LeBron helping the team, that Miami team? How much did he help when he had all those stars? He had Hall of Famer Ray Allen, Hall of Famer Dwayne Wade. Is Chris Bosh Hall of Famer?
No, I don't think so.
I think he may get in that second ballot though.
Possibly, but like his career.
What was his stat
His
lines?
career average is like 13 points and like 6 rebounds. Chris Bosh was not an amazing player. He gets overhyped because he was on the dream team.
What was his stat line?
Chris Bosh.
19.2.
Yeah,
8.5.
so look at the years that he was in Miami though.
He was in Miami. That's Raptors.
Let me go because I have him on my
He was
phone.
in 5 years. 5 years with them, and then the rest of them was with what's it called?
These are Chris Bosh stats, right? So when he played, so let's say what were the years that he was with? So 11, 12, 13, 14 is when LeBron was there, right?
Yes.
So or was it 12?
Because
they won
4
years, right?
He won 2 of them.
And he went to 4 in a row, right?
He went to 4 in a row, and he won 2 of them. Because then the Mavericks won the 2011, and then the Spurs won the 2014, I believe it was.
18, 16, 16, and then when LeBron left, 21, and then 19. So he
got better when LeBron left, with scoring wise.
I mean, yeah, obviously, because you had
Dwayne
3
Wade
and you
Ray
have
Allen,
James,
yeah.
obviously, and then Ray Allen. Ray Allen did not play like.
But he won that. He won. LeBron still calls Ray Allen. You've seen that yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where
I love Ray Allen.
I don't. I'm a Laker fan. Fuck Ray Allen.
I love Ray Allen. I mean,
You're gonna get something in the chat for that one.
I'm biased because I have some connections. So.
Oh yeah, what didn't
Is he in the Hall of Fame? Oh, so he's in the Hall of Fame. Okay, whatever.
Oh crap, he's right in front of us, Tommy.
Oh, wow, we're so smart. That's crazy. We're looking at Basketball Reference right now. It's right there. That's crazy. But so he's in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. So he's like, but like that's the thing. Like there's so many super teams. Like
back then, that's the problem. Like there was LeBron started. Did LeBron start that super team?
No, I don't think so. No, because they were already all there before LeBron made the South Beach announcement. I mean,
but because he was the last one to join that team, so technically he was the one to make it a super team.
Well, I mean,
because with LeBron,
but that's not
adding
his fault.
LeBron,
If a team gives him a contract and he says, "Oh yeah, look at this team that's already built," like without LeBron, that team is still making the playoffs and still gonna make a deep run. Like obviously, LeBron's gonna help.
They already
them
won
win a
a.
championship.
Dwayne Wade already won a ring.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, like, so that's what I'm saying.
So of course, like adding LeBron James to any team that has more than one superstar is gonna make it a super team. Like, but you can say that about any star.
Celtics started the super teams. Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen.
Yeah, they started the
Rondo.
trios. That's what it was.
That's
and
what the super teams are nowadays. Because
Yeah,
it's the three players that you have. KD, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson.
No, but you could also argue that the Lakers were before that because they had Kobe, Shaq, and Pau Gasol.
They didn't have Pau Gasol and Shaq at the same time.
And they had Derek Fisher.
They didn't have Shaq and Pau Gasol at the same time.
Well, they had Derek Fisher and they had
But I'm saying Hall of Famer wise.
Well, I think that
because Dwayne Wade
isn't what's his name? Middle World Peace. What's his actual name?
Ron Artest.
Ron Artest, isn't he like he
was good, and then the battle at the Palace came.
Well, that was after like the ring, right?
No, he was still in
he was
Indiana.
still really good.
He was gonna be a great pro, and then he got like suspended for like a whole 2 seasons.
Respectfully, if we're gonna really argue about like super teams, whatever, like you want to talk about that, but like Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Ray Allen, none of those 3 guys are in the top 20 players all time. But then you think about
people
Kobe,
would argue the Dwayne Wade though. People would argue that.
I personally would because Dwayne Wade's my favorite player of all time. But
was Dwayne Wade part of the 75 team? The 75.
Yeah, definitely he was. But you know, they had a couple but like think about this, like. Actually, this is perfect question. This is perfect for you because you think that Shaquille O'Neal is like the 4th best player of all time. So if you have Kobe, who you said is the 2nd best player of all time, and then you have Shaquille O'Neal at number 4.
Yeah.
If we're talking about super teams and you're putting the 2nd and 4th best player of all time on the same team, that's the most super team you could ever make.
What I'm telling you though is this: they drafted Kobe after they got Shaq, so that's technically not a super team because they didn't sign or trade. Do you know what I mean? Yes, they traded to get Kobe, but you know what I mean? They technically drafted him.
I don't think that's considered, like, drafting him doesn't change the fact that, like, he turned into a super team.
We talk about a super team, but you look at a super team.
I guess, yeah, it's like contracts.
Yes,
whatever.
You have to, like, trade and sign.
You have the second, like, but also, it took a while for Kobe to really get on his feet in the league.
It took 2 years.
It took 2 years.
Because he had that old, Phil Jackson, it was that old school.
Yeah, and Phil Jackson, also, like, if we're talking about, like, super teams, like, if we talk 2nd best player of all time, 4th best player of all time, and arguably the best coach of all time, like you could put
who's the only other? It's Aubach, right? It's the only one that could argue with Phil Jackson.
Maybe Popovich.
Those are the top 3. I feel like.
Yes, but like there's nobody else.
No,
you could put Pat Riley in that conversation though, because Pat Riley won a couple.
Pat Riley's everything though.
Yeah,
like
he
could be.
I think personally, I do.
Pat Riley.
Pat Riley's the best basketball executive of all time.
Jerry West is up there too though.
Right. Jerry West is up there.
Yes, Jerry West and Pat Riley, I feel like they can battle.
Yeah, but
then Pat Riley's been part of 25% of the NBA Finals or some shit like that.
Yes, so
that's where I feel like he gets that edge.
Phil Jackson, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, that's the super team right there. And they had some of the best role players in the league on that team.
Just like how Michael did.
Just how
Michael had, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, but we cannot consider Scottie Pippen a role player. If Scottie Pippen was on his own team, and also,
he was on his old team.
Yeah, he was. And then when he was on his own team, that team did just as good as when Michael Jordan was there.
Yes.
When Michael Jordan left, that Bulls team had 1 less win.
What was the year that he left?
93. No.
I'm trying to. Because I always forget. Because they won it in 93, I thought. Was it early 90s?
It might have been like 91, 92, something like that. I can't remember. But like whatever happened, like at the end of the day, like, all right, so first I have issues with people like with the MJ debate because like I would argue that like
It wasn't Phil. It was Del Harris the first 2 years that Kobe was there. And that's probably why Del Harris got fired.
Yeah, and then
that's probably why Del Harris got fired.
There's a whole story about it because Phil Jackson like was done coaching. He was living in his cabin in the woods, and Shaquille O'Neal and somebody else like went and visited his cabin. And there's a whole story about it. And then Phil Jackson's like, "Oh yeah, can you like?"
He was burning his sage, as they say.
Yeah, and he was like, "Hey, can you like bring that log over to the island over on the other side, like in the river?" And then Shaq was like, "Okay," and he just swam over there.
Imagine 7 foot Shaq. Just at his prime, he's like 400 pounds too.
Yeah.
Like imagine being on that island, and then you just see Shaq just. I'm shitting myself. Like Shaq coming at me full.
I'm just saying, like,
breaststroke.
apparently it's like a really cool story, like how like he was so humble and like convinced like Phil Jackson to like come coach for them. So I think that like we can't even. Here's the debate, right? People talk about super team this, super team that, whatever. That doesn't matter. A ring is a ring because like. You know how many players that are, like, incredible? Like, there's not many players that you can say won a ring by themselves. Like, you can probably put on one hand or two hands how many people you could talk about like that.
I'm trying to think.
Exactly. Dirk, maybe.
Kawhi.
Raptors.
Really?
You're going to say Kawhi with the Raptors with Pascal and Kyle Lowry?
I forgot about Kyle Lowry. I forgot about that.
And they had Chris Boucher, and at the time, they lost DeMar. That was after DeMar. That team was really strong. You forgot about Kyle Lowry. One of the
I forgot about that thick man.
He is considered arguably the best player in Raptors history.
And the thickest man on that
Oh
court.
my goodness. Juicy man. But like alright, so here's the thing.
We're gonna text soon.
People
What the hell?
people argue about the super teams or whatever. You cannot win a championship without multiple great players and a lot of really good role players. You don't win. A championship is not a single player accomplishment.
The Denver Nuggets this year.
Team accomplishment. Yes, this is why I think it's so stupid that people argue about rings for who's a better player. Because at the end of the day,
Bill Russell will be number one then.
yes, exactly. It's such a stupid debate.
If Bill Russell played against people that are my height,
look
just like me.
And probably did the same job as you on the side.
I do siding, and I go play against Bill Russell.
And they're plumbers and stuff.
Yeah,
They're tradesmen.
Russell.
The tradesmen.
Yeah.
But like it's such a stupid
That's
debate.
how it was though back then, though.
Like LeBron, okay, like maybe you could consider like the when LeBron had really young Kyrie and the Kevin Love that was averaging 12 points per game. Maybe you consider that a pretty close accomplishment, right?
I don't say that's a super team though.
It's not a super team at all. No.
I say it's great
I'm not
players
saying-
that went together.
I'm not saying it's a super team. I'm saying
No,
it's the
I'm
opposite.
saying- I feel
I'm saying that's the closest thing you can get to a guy who's really carrying a team like by himself.
I say Denver Nuggets.
Denver Nuggets.
I feel like this year was a whole team thing.
Yeah, that was a whole team thing.
Oh yeah,
But, like
I
I'm
feel
saying
like that's one of the best teams we've seen in a
so
long time.
like, that's the thing. Like this is what I'm trying to say. Like teams, like people argue too much about rings, but it's like just because you get the Finals MVP, yeah, you're the best player on a team that won the championship, but. If you didn't have, like, let's say for Denver this year, if it's Jokic and you didn't have Jamal, if you didn't have MPJ,
Bruce
Brown, even Bruce Brown, you lose one of those players and they're losing to Miami. And you think about Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Celtics, if they lost Caleb Martin,
They gave Vincent.
We just won.
Abraham Lincoln.
if you lose one guy, you could name one. This dude he was cut from his team prior. He made the Miami roster and he only started in the playoffs. Caleb Martin.
He did. I thought he started all year.
He did not start all year. He earned that starting spot throughout the year. But like, if you lose one guy,
that's how you do it.
Yes, exactly. He was a role player, and he ended up being one of the best players on the roster in the playoffs. If you lose that one guy, that team falls apart. They don't even make it past the second round. That's why I think the debate over like championships is so stupid, because you can't quantify a championship as a singular accomplishment. That's like saying that like a Super Bowl, like like how people argue like. You know what?
The best playoff.
Guess what?
Guess what? The best playoff postseason quarterback ever is Tom Brady. He's not the best regular season. You know I stand on that, and we've got arguments before this.
I'm not even getting that.
We've argued about this before.
But like whatever. But like Jimmy Garoppolo has 3 rings.
What's his name? Who's the player?
So Jimmy Garoppolo has 3 rings. You know what he did? Nothing.
Who's the player that has like 4 rings and he didn't do shit?
Well, I love Jimmy. He's my best player. He's my favorite player of all time.
I'm just trying to think of who's the player
favorite player currently.
Who's the one that I forgot what league it was. It was NBA or football. He literally didn't do nothing. He didn't do shit. And he won like he's got like 4 rings.
There's one guy, he played for the Raptors when they won, and then he went to the Lakers. I know he went to the Warriors when they won, and then
yes, that's what I'm thinking of. What is his name?
Oh, jeez, I can't remember. I remember pictures of him.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I remember seeing it like
I think he plays in the G League now. But like I'm saying like the ring, just because you're the best player on a team that wins a ring, it doesn't mean that's an individual stat, because
it takes the whole team.
Yeah, so like that's why I hate the argument about, MJ's 6 rings. Like, yeah, he was the best player on a team that won 6 rings. But you take away Scottie Pippen, every year that he did not have Scottie Pippen, he either didn't make the playoffs at all or got bounced out of the first or second round.
Then you take away.
And then you talk about LeBron. LeBron, like, this is my argument.
You take away Dwayne Wade from that Heat team.
They could probably do pretty well because they
wouldn't win it.
They wouldn't win it. No.
So if you take 2 of those rings away from LeBron,
exactly.
Right there.
You take 2 rings away from LeBron. Cool. Like.
And then with Kobe, you take if you didn't
you
have
take
Shaq,
away Shaq.
3. You take away 3.
You take away some of even somebody that isn't as important as Shaq, and they don't win those.
I think Shaq and Kobe were the best duo ever.
Well, that's a very, very hard argument to
deny.
I mean, it's hard to deny, but it's also hard. Like there's so many really good duos.
People can say like Jordan and Pippen, but then I go, but you had the most dominant player in the NBA ever, which is Shaq.
He was the most dominant when he was in his prime. Yes.
Like a 7-foot dude.
They had to hack a Shaq, because he couldn't shoot free throws.
That's the only
There was
if
no
he didn't have Hackish.
That's like this is like the perfect parallel between the NFL and the NBA to me, is Shaquille O'Neal to Calvin Johnson. Because Calvin Johnson's not the best receiver of all time, but he is damn near the most dominant.
Way he
because there's not another player you can think of that's getting like man-on-man double teamed. Like that was Shaq and that was Calvin Johnson. But like their primes were too short, their careers were too short,
Yeah.
So like that's what I'm trying to say. Like
I feel like there's so many players that you could say like I feel like there's so much stuff that goes into like what we're talking about like
if we're gonna talk about the MJ and LeBron debate, or like even like the LeBron and Kobe debate, like at the end of the day, you cannot. I think
it's a losing battle for it.
I think it's stupid to qualify rings as.
And it's never gonna be settled. You get what I mean? Because I feel like with those 2 players, like those 3 players, it's gonna be always gonna be argument back and forth with no one winning that argument because
you're never gonna know
because that Heat. But I also have this stat line for you because I know you love your stats.
I'm the stat guy.
You are Max Kellerman, I call you. Kobe, best year scoring was in 2006. He averaged 35.4 points a game. LeBron's best year ever scoring was in 2006. He averaged 31.2, I think, points per game. That I looked at that today and I was like, and that was 3 years after he was in the league, correct? If I'm correct, tell me if I'm wrong.
Well, yeah, that was his best scoring year, and that was, he was drafted in 2003, so
3 years, right?
Yeah, 3 years.
And it takes 3 to 5 years to reach your prime in the NBA. As a
just
star.
about, but like I would argue that like the ages between 26 and 29 is prime for NBA players. And
but I feel like nowadays that's changing.
You can't. Well, I mean, LeBron is the one changing the game with that because LeBron is averaging one of his best points per game seasons of his career this past season, averaging 28 at 36 years old, right? 36. Yeah. That's how old he is.
But I'm gonna say this though: how many of those were free throws that weren't a foul?
Well, that's the thing. You can't even argue that because this is just today's league.
And that's why I feel like we can't argue Kobe, Jordan, and him because every single one was different.
I can't do that because just because Kobe didn't flop, obviously LeBron flops. We all know LeBron flops, and I have here's the thing. I think that LeBron James is the best basketball player ever. I think he's better than Michael Jordan, and I think he would.
You're gonna have someone in the chat in a minute.
Oh yeah,
I think
he would smack Jordan.
When we go downstairs.
Well, I mean, it's not an argument that he would smack Jordan 1-on-1. Not because MJ's bad or anything, but because MJ is 4 inches shorter and 50 pounds lighter than LeBron.
But I feel like the determination
Determination isn't going to win a one-on-one.
You think so?
One-on-one?
You think so? Hey, no, I'm going to tell you this. I'm a 5'7" white boy, and I played against a kid that was your size in basketball, taller, when I was 12 years old, and I shut his shit down because I was determined.
Okay, so you were a 12-year-old. That's so different than having 2 of the best players of all
time.
But
I'm saying, though, determination...
You think that LeBron's not going to be determined?
I think he's going to be determined, but Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant are the 2 hardest working basketball players ever, and you know it too.
Yeah, but also LeBron is one of the top 10, top 15 defensive players of all time. Because he has LeBron. He has 8 all defensive teams. He has 6. He has 6. Oh, he's 6 all defensive teams.
Kobe has 12. Kobe has 12. Michael Jordan has.
I think Mike has 8.
Something like that.
But also, if we're gonna argue that, Tim Duncan has 15. So
yeah, Tim Duncan's the most fundamental player ever.
I think Tim Duncan's better than Kobe, but that's a debate for another day.
Let me pull this up because I was looking at me and Trey. LeBron were looking at this yesterday.
And also, here's the thing, MJ.
What are the rules? What NBA format are we going with? if they played one-on-one.
Are
we playing street ball? Are we playing street ball?
Well, that's going to be unfair. If we do street ball, that's going to be unfair just because LeBron, if we're playing street ball and LeBron is playing against Michael Jordan or even Kobe, like, he's so much bigger than both of them, and if they're not calling fouls, and LeBron knows this because LeBron's really smart and he's going to play the game the way that the game conforms, like, he's going to conform to the game. If you have a dude that's
looking up? Never mind.
If you have a dude that's 4 inches taller, has a wingspan that's 5 inches longer, and he's 60 pounds heavier but runs just as fast as you, and there's no fouling, LeBron is smoking them, because it doesn't matter how hard MJ and Kobe hit him. They are and this is just a fact. LeBron James is so much stronger. Stack. He's so much stronger than them, physically stronger.
9-time for MJ. Kobe was, if it loads up, Kobe was a 12-time. Kobe was a 12-time, bro.
He was, yeah, but he never won a DPOI, which is also, like, he never did, I don't think he did, yeah.
LeBron hasn't either.
Neither did LeBron. But LeBron, respectfully, LeBron got snuffed like twice.
Who got snuffed from MVP was Kobe.
You want to? We could argue about the MVP stuffing because you're talking about.
There's a lot of players that got stuffed.
LeBron James has been a top 3 player every single year that he's been in this league since he had his sophomore season in the league.
No, he was signing LeBron.
Since his sophomore year in the league. So since LeBron James was 19, 20 years old, he has been one of the top 5 players in the league, and he only has how many MVPs? That's ridiculous. I mean, like, it's just LeBron should have won more MVPs. Yeah, he should have 6. I mean,
Kobe should have at least a good 4.
Yeah, Kobe should have 4, but I mean, obviously, like, I'm just gonna say this. I think that LeBron James should have. I mean, he does, but I think even if they had their fair amount of MVPs, LeBron would still have more than Kobe.
Look at that. That's why I say I don't think no one ever gonna touch MJ.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like, here's the thing, like, this is why. All right, so I'm not gonna. So you know,
and no, just want to say this.
You know how I said that I think LeBron is better.
Look at the
than
games.
MJ?
Look at the games they played. 142.
1,421.
Thank you. 1,346. Okay, so then he did that. He only had 1,072 games. He had it was a 10-time scoring champion.
No, that's a bad stat because just it doesn't matter how many games they played because it's points per game.
I know, but I'm saying though, is he played that many. He didn't. So that means he played. How many seasons did Jordan play? He played 13. Wait.
So here's the problem.
Did he play 15 or 13? Played 15 seasons. 10 of those seasons, Jordan scored.
So this is why it's a bad debate because as much as I'll say I think LeBron is a more skilled basketball player than Michael Jordan, I can't say that he is, like I said before, he's better. I misused my words. I think that LeBron James is a more skilled basketball player because he is in a new league. That's funny. We can't even say anything about that. But like,
we need Trey here.
But like, he's a more skilled basketball player, right? He has the basketball skills. Like, he's a better dribbler. He knows that, like, he just does everything. Like, he's a very well-rounded player. Like, Michael Jordan was incredible at a couple of things and good at other things. Like, LeBron was great at everything. You know? Like, he could... That's why, Michael Jordan was not known for his exceptional passing. Like, Michael Jordan was a mediocre passer.
Because he would take over games. He wasn't.
Exactly.
He didn't need a pass.
Exactly. But if you think about it,
him and Kobe didn't need a pass.
Cool. See, he averaged 5.3 assists his entire career, right? And then let's see what LeBron James has for his assists, right? So
7.3.
So 7.3. So if you think about it, right? We'll say on the bare minimum so he has 2 more assists per game. Well, 1.9. We'll call it 2. 2 more assists per game than MJ did, right? And he averaged 27.2 points his entire career. Those 2 assists account for bare minimum 4 points.
I want to see something.
So let's say. Wait a
minute.
I need to finish my argument.
I want to see what he did. How much assists he averaged in Miami when he had that super team. Why is this talking over here? I don't care.
Look, Miami right here.
I know. I'm looking. So assist is right here.
Yep.
So tell me how far down.
So it's
or just click on
right
him.
There.
So he had
shit. My bad.
Forgot this is a touchscreen. What the fuck did we click on? What the
Right.
hell are we on?
Right.
1 minute, we gotta go back. We are not where we want to be.
Scroll down. Because so Miami. So we're starting
Miami,
in
2011.
7.5.
7.5.
6.2, 7.3, 6.3. So he averaged 6 to 7 assists. He literally averaged his average. So he averaged about 6.8 assists per game. in his time in Miami. But if we're talking about full career, which is what we're talking about with Michael Jordan, hear me out, right? I'm trying to make my point here. 7.4 assists versus 5.4 assists. Those 2 assists at bare minimum, account for 4 points in his career. So, if we're talking statistically, he averaged 30.1 points in his career. LeBron averaged 27.1, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Those 4 points off of assists, if we want to count which player contributed to more points on the team, LeBron contributed.
But that's
more
for the
points
team.
But that's the point.
But we're talking about overall individual players,
Yeah,
Tommy,
but
not for the team.
No,
if we're talking about best overall player,
if you're talking about
I'm sorry.
No, but like LeBron James.
LeBron's too much of a team player. That's why he has...
It's not. There's no such thing as too much of a team player.
Yes, there is.
Because
that's why he's only 40% in the NBA championship, because he doesn't know how to take over a game like Jordan, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
How many times did Michael Jordan miss the NBA Finals?
But how made times did he make the NBA Finals? He made it 6 times, and he won it 6 times.
Yeah, but this is
LeBron James made it 10 times.
People don't value making the NBA Finals. People don't value how hard it is to get to the NBA Finals.
It is hard.
Because getting to the NBA Finals, LeBron James, in almost every season of his career, has made it past the second round.
How hard is it to win it,
third or fourth? Yeah,
it's hard to make it, but how hard is it to win it?
It is more difficult to win how many games? So if we're going to argue... So the NBA playoffs is 16 of the best teams that season going against each other.
It's 16 now? Isn't it?
It's to the 8 seed.
But then they had to play in.
Yeah, but both of their careers they didn't have to play in.
Yeah, you got to play Kobe
so,
and him.
Yeah, so let's say 16, right? So 16 of the best teams in the NBA going at it in game series to 7, right? So at minimum, you have to win 4 games per series. So in those 10 seasons that LeBron made the championships, so yeah, I know he only has 4 rings. Making 10 championships, he had to have won significantly more playoff games than Michael Jordan did. Yeah, he won 6 rings, and all of those rings he had, like, LeBron won rings with 3 different teams. And I know, you could argue Miami. You can't really argue Cleveland, because the Cleveland teams that he played on, despite having Kyrie and Kevin Love, were worse than wait, let me finish. Why'd he
leave the Cavs, though? Why'd he leave the Cavs the first time?
Who fucking cares?
But that's the problem, though, Tommy. He left there to go to a super team to win a ring.
There's so much more to
Kobe and him never left.
First of all.
Also, his middle name is Jeffrey. I never fucking knew that.
First of all, LeBron going to South Beach, yeah, okay, it definitely had something to do with the fact that there was a really good team there, and he wanted to be a part of something. He wanted to but also we're not thinking about
ring chasing.
We're not thinking about the rest of first of all, MJ never needed to ring chase because
that's
he was on a team.
That's how good he is.
No, it was because the team around. If you didn't have, I'm saying, the teams that MJ won with were all better than the Cleveland team, and it was better. I would say it's arguably better than the Lakers team that LeBron won with, because yeah, he had AD at that point, but AD was on and off injury. His second best player was who?
But I'm saying this.
So
listen. So you're saying that's a better overall team because they stayed together and they knew how to play together. Because Michael Jordan was the leader. He was the leader of that team.
But
so that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is there's
so
much more. There's so much more to switching teams than just ring chasing. What if? Just think about this. Maybe LeBron was sick of living in Ohio. Maybe because Dwayne Wade was one of his good friends and he wanted to just go play basketball with his friend. Maybe it had nothing to do with the goddamn rings. We don't know what went on in his head.
But Shaq and Charles Barkley are best friends.
Maybe he wanted to live in Miami because goddamn it, Miami is so sick. He didn't want to be stuck living in Cleveland. Who wants to live in Cleveland? Cleveland is a dump.
And so isn't half of Massachusetts, but we're still here.
Yeah, but we don't.
You went to school up here.
Do you have the flexibility to go move to Miami with a $40 million contract?
Me, no.
Exactly, he did. He had the offer. They were like, this team in Miami, Florida, with all these fine women and these,
but then why didn't Michael and Kobe
on the beach when Cleveland doesn't have anything near the beach?
Tommy.
And guess what? Okay, yeah, but Miami is one of the meccas of the world.
Yes.
Everybody loves Miami. You go to Miami, that's where everybody goes for spring break. Don't get into that. Miami is a spot. It's like the beach is beautiful. It's everything you could possibly want in somewhere to live. There's everything. And he has kids at this point. He wants his kids to live up somewhere nice, grow up somewhere nice. It has so much more to do. People consider athletes moving teams. Yeah, KD moving teams. KD's ring chasing because he's moving to a bunch of different teams. Whatever. LeBron going to Miami, he wanted to play basketball. Like, this is like, you can't read his mind, but it wasn't just about the ring. He's going to play with his friends because he's in Cleveland with some people that he doesn't even know.
That's my problem.
And Cleveland didn't even want him. The players on Cleveland when he got drafted didn't even want him there.
So then
he went to Miami.
Why didn't they want him?
Because they thought, like, oh, yeah, like, he's young, he's out of high school, he's got too much hype, whatever. And then he goes in and wins them a chip, right? So that's the first thing.
People thought of that about Kobe, too.
Yeah,
but
like,
Kobe proved him wrong, and he stayed at the same team.
Yeah, but Kobe,
why did LeBron leave? Because he got scared that they didn't like him? Who the fuck cares?
No, we're not talking about, like I'm telling you about all the factors.
Is it because Delonte West went up to him and go, smell my fingers? Is that why he left?
I mean, I want to leave, too.
I mean,
if you have the opportunity, right? He's on a rookie contract with Cleveland. He is making a lot less money. He had an extension. He had money, but like imagine a team like Miami. That's already good.
Back, then?
That's already good because he went to Miami. He had his fun. He did what he wanted to do. And
he won his rings.
He won his rings, and then guess what? He went and won more rings in Cleveland. So it doesn't matter.
But I'm saying though, but that's what I'm saying though. Why did he go back if he didn't want to be there in the first place, Tommy? Why would you go back?
You don't ever, you never think, when I went to Springfield, right? When I moved to Springfield, and I'm living there full time now, and I'm going to school in Springfield, you think I never once thought about going back and transferring? Do you think I ever thought of that? Yes, I thought of it half the time that I was here. I thought about transferring, because I thought I made a mistake. I thought, I made a lot of friends up here. Maybe I went to the wrong school. Maybe I did this. He went to Miami. He thought it was going to be great. What if something happens? What if there's a falling out in the family? What if, the schooling system isn't as good? Maybe he misses all his family in Cleveland because guess what? His whole family was in Ohio.
Because he knew he messed up.
So he went to Miami because he wanted to, he really thought, I could start a family. I could start the family here. I could, have him go to school here. This could be the spot. I want my family to be raised here. It's going to be fun. I play basketball with my friends. But then at the end of the day, he misses his family.
But that's where
people make mistakes.
But that's where I'm saying my problem is Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. They never... Hey, Kobe Bryant in the Olympics, he played against Pau Gasol. He looked at Michael.
He ran him over, okay?
But I'm saying, that's his teammate he won 2 rings with back-to-back. That's his brother. When Pau got his number retired with Kobe, he was bawling his eyes out because that's his brother. LeBron fucking goes and plays with his friends. Fuck your friends. That's on the other team. Stay where you got drafted.
Well, it doesn't really matter. Loyalty, he won the team a ring, and that team, think about it, if LeBron never got drafted to the Cavs, and they didn't have that superstar player, the Cavs could still, to this day, be one of the biggest jokes in NBA history. They could be like the Pistons.
Don't let Mitchie hear that.
Think about that. If there was no LeBron started Cleveland's uphill swing into being that team, right? Because Cleveland, they had the first pick. You want to know why? Because they sucked. Because they were trash.
It was almost the Grizzlies.
It was almost, guess what? They were trash.
And the Grizzlies drafted the worst bust of all fucking time.
They did. But, the Cleveland without LeBron was awful. Terrible. LeBron got there, he changed Cleveland. If there was no LeBron in Cleveland, guess what? There's no LeBron in Cleveland, they're not gonna get a Jared Allen, they're not gonna get a Donovan Mitchell, they're not gonna have those diehard fans because those fans came because of LeBron.
Because he was from there.
Yes, LeBron built Cleveland. And it's not, he didn't leave them and wanted to go in the dust and be like he just wanted a change of scenery. It has nothing to do with being you're gonna fault a guy, a human, for wanting to go play basketball with his friends. It doesn't matter about loyalty. That stuff does not matter at all. Just because Kobe and MJ went and stayed on their teams and had success.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying though, Tommy, it's a business. You go and leave your friend. You go and be like, oh, I'm gonna go play with my friends. You are LeBron James. You are the king, so-called king. Why do you need your friends to go win a championship?
He doesn't need him to win a championship. Maybe he just wanted to have fun. He didn't need him to win a championship because he won 2 others without him. So who cares, right? He didn't. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but he needed to win his first one. He needed them. He needed his friends to get a taste of that.
Well, you don't know if that was his intentions, though. We can argue about, he went ring chasing, whatever. Nobody knows. The athlete is still a person. We're looking at him like he's just some spectacle. Just because he went to Miami, he's worse because he wanted to go chase rings. Maybe that's not the case. Just because he wanted to have fun and play a game, because he's getting paid to play a game, he's getting paid to play a literal recreational activity. And you think that he wouldn't want to play this recreational activity with his friends, the person he got drafted with? Why would you fault somebody for that? There's no negative to that. Just because he didn't stay in Cleveland, because, yeah, he could have stayed in Cleveland. And honestly, they could have built more. They're also, you don't know what's going on in the front offices. Like the front offices, MJ, think about it, right? Actually, I got a really good point for you.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
He left Cleveland for championships, no matter what you think. If he doesn't get championships, can you compare him to Michael? If he has no
If he didn't win those two
if he
in
stayed
Miami.
in Cleveland, I'm being serious with you. If he stayed in Cleveland, he never left.
Also, special
Doesn't
guest
get
my
a
father.
championship. Is he comparable to Michael?
If he
He
doesn't
never
if he
gets a
doesn't win
championship. If he never goes to Miami and gets the 2 rings.
So are you saying like he doesn't win any rings, or he just doesn't
No,
win?
he just wins
No.
those 2 rings in Miami.
Say when he left Cleveland, I saw an interview with him. He even said after he won a second one in Miami, what I need to do was get somewhere else to come back to Cleveland. When he went back to Cleveland, he said this. Look it up. He said, I went to Miami. I had to get this up here. Pat Riley was the reason he went. Do you know to this day Pat Riley doesn't talk to him? You know that, right?
Yeah.
Because he pissed Pat Riley off and left. He used Pat Riley. Pat Riley, the executive of the year, like you said earlier, was like, oh, right there.
I think he's the best executive of all time.
Red Auerbach is, but that's another story.
It's
But
like
Red
we
Auerbach was
said,
never
those
just
3.
a coach. He was
I
good
think,
too.
I think
It's
coach
those
and
3.
GM together, the fact that he was player, coach, GM.
But that's
all
what
put
Red
together.
Auerbach was too.
Red Auerbach
yeah,
was a
Pat
player.
Riley
so-
as a player wasn't that good. I remember him.
Then second.
Oh, I would put him high first. I'm
I
a
think
1A,
it's a
1B
three-
guy.
I think it's
am.
a tie.
I'm one of those people that
Okay,
when
so-
an executive. But what I'm saying to you is, he doesn't go to Miami. He stays in Cleveland, homegrown. His contract in those times is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, he's getting bigger, but also
Hold on,
it's
hold
still a
on.
rookie contract.
Back then, they didn't have the money they gave to teams. So you were a one-horse show. You were a one-pony thing. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it was LeBron.
It was LeBron. Now you got Kyrie. You didn't get Kyrie unless he left, though. Kyrie was the draft pick you got when he left. You tanked the season.
Kyrie was overhyped in
But no,
Cleveland.
no.
because
Listen to me.
He only
But-
averaged.
but
He
listen
never
to-
averaged more than 20
But
with LeBron.
But game-winning shot. You get to go wherever you want with this.
Yeah, Ray Allen had a game-winning shot with 13 points.
With
in
who on the team?
Yeah, LeBron.
Right, but that's two.
Steve
that's,
Kerr with MJ.
But that's damn right, you're right. And John Paxton with them. See, now do you know that
Yeah,
one?
and you know what?
But
And-
do you know that one about Michael?
John
John Paxton
Paxton?
won the championship for him too. So we're naming role players.
Yes, we are.
But what I'm saying to you is, he doesn't get the championship in Cleveland without the.
What year did he
experience in
return to
Miami.
Cleveland?
Who?
LeBron?
2016.
left in
No,
what?
it was 2015. No, his last year was 2014, then 2015,
right.
and then 16.
But
he won
that
the
draft pick they got when him went to Miami, the next year they tanked. They were horrible.
Tommy in
So let's say,
2016.
let's say, I'll answer your
Tommy in
No, I'm not
2016 he
asking
averaged
the question.
25.2 points
I
per
gotta listen to
game.
him.
No, I'm not asking you the question. I'm bringing a point up to you.
Yeah.
That year he left, Cleveland sucked. They were the laughing stock. They got the number 1 pick. They picked Kyrie. That was their man.
Yeah.
All right. Now he didn't win his first year in Cleveland or in Miami.
Yeah.
They lost. San Antonio beat them.
Yeah.
A team that wasn't better than them either. Hate to tell you that.
Yeah,
They were
yeah, of
not.
course. But
San
also,
Antonio had Tim Duncan.
you
fine,
can't
but
say any of
that
that.
was the
young
end of his
Kawhi.
career.
You also got. If you're gonna say that, you also got to talk about the 72-9 Warriors team.
No, we're not.
73-9
No.
Warriors.
You're, now you're bringing stats in. Where I'm not asking for stats yet.
Okay.
You want to bring those in next? You can. But what I'm saying is, he went there. D Wade already won a ring with Shaq. He knew the role. Ray Allen already won one with the Celtics. He knew the role.
Yes.
So he went in and he was. That's what he did. D Wade has said it. I told him to shut up. He did. He watched it. He sat back. He watched how a team works. Now he took his philosophy. Think about this. When he went back to Cleveland, what did he do? He used what he learned
The philosophy in Miami.
He went, hey, I want love. I don't give a shit if it's 12 points a game. He's a 3-point big man. He can pull everybody out of the paint now. So again, what I'm saying is, he went back with the Miami philosophy, right? When he was in Cleveland, he couldn't get that. He wasn't going to get that. He was not going to get that. First off, he 8 coaches up in Cleveland. He 8 coaches up.
That's probably why his teammates said. That's why Delonte went up to him.
Well,
with
no,
Liz.
there was a lot of friction with
Well,
that.
also the Cleveland front office and their coaching
Oh,
staff
they're horrible.
were awful. So
They still
I can
are.
understand
No,
why.
when they got what's his
What-
name? When they got the guy that's with New Orleans now.
Ty Lue?
No, the executive. Gilbert.
I can't remember.
Him. He was good for LeBron
Yeah.
because what he did is he listened to LeBron, and what he did is he got what LeBron wanted. LeBron didn't want a lot, but when he was with Miami, the reason he went there is they already signed Ray Allen. They already had D Wade and Bosh. These players are already there. He was the 4th member to join. I would have went too. I agree with you. You don't know what's in his head, but I'm not going to say he went to play with a friend.
Yeah,
He knew we needed the
obviously,
rings.
I made the point that obviously he knew what he was getting to.
Right.
He knew that he was gonna have a better chance of getting a ring
But
there
he
than
needed
in
that.
in
But
Cleveland.
he doesn't get that ring, right?
Yeah.
Can you compare him to Michael? And I know
Well,
you said
obviously,
earlier
no.
rings
obviously,
no.
Obviously, like you can't compare him to Michael Jordan if he doesn't win those rings. But also, We got to go back to the MJ side then. I personally think, I was telling this before, I think that it's a stupid debate to have, having those two. I think you know how you said 1A, 1B? I think they're 1A, 1B.
I go generation.
Yes.
I'm a generation guy because I'm going to tell you right now, growing up, none of these guys could hold Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's jock.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He was the greatest player in my opinion.
You say, okay, like...
But then I turn around, and we're going to go Jordan, but I don't put Jordan there. See, this is where we're going to differ hard. I put Larry and Magic 1A, 1B.
Because they say basketball.
Without them,
They say
there is no
yes.
NBA.
Yeah,
so now Michael comes in. Michael changes the game.
Michael's 90s.
See, LeBron didn't change the game. Think about it. Michael came in.
He just brought dunking.
No, not just
More
dunking.
powerful
No.
dunking.
He brought one-on-one basketball.
Vince Carter did that.
No, Michael did. No, Michael did.
Michael-
Oh, I'm talking about
what's his
after.
name?
You're right.
You said LeBron, I'm saying Vince Carter in this generation.
Yes, I go Vince Carter.
dunking.
Another one was Jamerson. He played for North Carolina.
Antoine Jamerson?
No. Yes,
Jamerson.
he played for North Carolina. These are guys, but if you ask all those guys, ask D Wade. I just saw the interview with him. D Wade said, the greatest player I ever played is Michael. He played with LeBron. He's his best friend.
Yeah.
And the reason he said it is LeBron didn't change the game.
Yeah, okay,
Michael did.
Michael revolutionized basketball.
We
let's think
wear
about this.
sneakers. If you had money, just say, and you were a sneaker guy, are you going
I have
to go out
3
and buy
pairs of
LeBron?
Jordans.
Right, exactly. Thank you. But
I wore LeBron,
But that's
like,
not basketball. I'm just talking about
that's
the
influence.
iconic position he is in. It's Michael, and no one's ever going to beat that.
Yeah, obviously,
I mean,
but like,
because here's
we're talking
what
about
LeBron
basketball
wears.
skill. That's
Look,
my argument is who's the more skilled basketball player.
because I think Michael, he was a better defensive player than LeBron could ever be, and the stats show it. The numbers and
Well, yeah,
show
obviously, I'm never
The
going to
numbers
argue.
show
I'm
it.
never going to argue that LeBron
I
is a
will
better
never
defensive
put
player than
LeBron
MJ.
above Michael because when
In defensive aspects,
I'm a
yeah.
Laker. No, I'm a Laker
For
fan.
me, at least.
No, I'm a Laker fan.
Yeah, of course you are.
Die hard. When I was growing up, when Michael came in, I'm a North Carolina fan. Everyone's like, "Oh, you like North Carolina because of Michael?" No, I like North Carolina because of James Worthy, Michael's mentor.
Oh, that was awesome. I love
Right.
James Worthy.
That's his mentor when he was in college.
Yes.
Now he has said, when I got to the pros, I was lost. Larry Bird told him one time, "You're never going to win. You scored 61 points. Your team had 81 points." At that moment, no different than LeBron. See, LeBron was doing it in Cleveland with nobody. So LeBron did the same thing Michael did and the same thing Kobe did. He changed his game.
Yes.
He went, "I need teammates."
But then
I
sometimes
need
he
teammates. So he
overuses
went to
them now.
Miami. No different than when Michael stopped and went, "I got to learn to shoot." Because Michael couldn't shoot.
Yep.
LeBron couldn't
Kobe
either.
Bryant,
all right.
Kobe Bryant couldn't shoot.
So this is a
They
good
changed the game.
this is a good thing
So
to talk
those
about,
are my
right?
top 3 right there. But I will always put one guy above them, and that is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Well, of course, yeah.
Because
like,
we all disrespect that man. His shot is untouchable, one.
this guy will get
And I heard LeBron say this year. "I'm the greatest player ever now that I'm the scoring champ. I'm the GOAT."
So
Said
was-
it when he got
Do you what? Do you want to not say that?
But now, so if you were the greatest player, who did you take it from? Because you're the scoring champ. Who did you take it from?
Kareem.
Exactly, but they don't say that. They say Michael. Well, yeah, Michael's 5th on the list. See what I'm saying? He passed Michael a long time ago.
Yeah, he did. He did.
But they always compare him
Because
to
there's so much
Michael.
more. Yeah, because like, obviously, I think that LeBron getting the scoring championship has nothing to do with like his legacy. I think obviously like it's a really big accomplishment and like good for him. I think that obviously he's gonna say that.
Do you
he's
know
the
what
GOAT
him and
because
Kareem
of
have in common?
What?
They played 20 years. That's why they got a
Yes,
scoring championship.
exactly.
Mark,
But also
do you know
longevity.
do
Then
you know who like was 2nd on that list? Now he's 3rd. Do you know who it is?
I don't.
He's Malone from Utah.
Yeah, but he never won a ring. And,
Never. No. But he
never-
played another player. He only played 17 years and got that.
So yeah, he was
second.
an incredible scorer.
Right,
Yeah.
but again, he also
And all
got,
he had was John Stockton. John
but he
Stockton
also
was
got
passing
no.
the ball all the
He
time.
had Russell too. He had some good players. Again, you're looking at superstars. Back in my day, it was role players.
Yes.
Scottie Pippen will always be a role player. You could say he's a great, but when he went to Portland, he sucked, and it was his team.
That was. Oh, come
But
on.
they gave
You
it to
can't-
him.
That was. You can't
No,
even do that.
they
'cause
gave it to him.
But age.
The year he retired.
That's what I'm trying to
the
say.
year-
LeBron's
but-
age, he's
no,
still
no,
doing
no.
what he's doing,
The
though.
year Michael retired, they gave that team to Scottie Pippen. He couldn't carry it. He couldn't. He
When
got
he
mad
first
because
retired?
Tony Kukoc
When he
came
first
in.
retired?
No, when he first retired, Tony Kukoc came in and he threw a fit in a playoff game and didn't come off the bench because Tony Kukoc got the last shot.
Yeah, cool. But like, also, what was the team's record the year after Michael Jordan?
They sucked,
They were 54.
but they sucked. They
Scottie
weren't
Pippen averaged 16.1
They had
points
the
per
same
game.
regular
But,
season
but
record,
again, back
basically.
in those days, the East was 2 teams. Two. At all times. It was Detroit, Chicago, Boston, Detroit. Those were your 3 teams that were rotating. The West was a whole different story. The West was the East now, right? Now, what we have now, like the East
Yes.
is a gauntlet right now. You don't want to be in the East. I mean, I can see why guys in the East are going to the West. KD left. You think he's not dumb? Now, do you think KD's a ring chaser?
Well, yeah. Well, I think that's a whole different story because KD's bouncing around every single team trying to find something. Like I
But do
have
you
no
consider him a
respect
top
for
10 player?
No.
Hey,
I do.
Tommy.
I think he's in top
On talent.
15.
On talent.
Talent? Well, I mean,
Talent.
yeah, he is a top 10 most skilled basketball player of all
Right,
time.
but not. See,
But,
what
like-
you got to learn
like,
to do is
best
take out.
basketball players
But you got to
different.
take out. Look, know what LeBron's great at?
After he left Michael, look at his stat drop. He dropped 5
yeah, well, also,
points,
how old was he in 98?
32. That's not.
That's
for-
2 years out of prime, respectfully.
But no, you got to take out like that.
So here's what I...
LeBron is a smart player.
Let
I'm
me
never
have,
gonna
let me
deny
have,
that.
like... I
Kobe
need to
at
give
30.
you my-
Kobe at 32 averaged 25.3. LeBron at 32 average. So I'm not hearing it with Scottie Pippen. That's out of his prime.
All right, so...
Bullshit.
Well, so you're arguing that
32
two of the greatest players of all time compared to one of the best role players of all time? You can't
You
do
just
that.
called him a role player.
Scottie Pippen with
Yeah, but
Michael Jordan
earlier, he was a role player with Michael. He was.
He was, and that's the thing. Like, let's think
He
about
was
this.
his second
He was a
option.
consistent 19 to 20 point per game scorer. That also was a consistent
All right, here's one
all-star.
for you.
Think about this. Well, hey, you said you give me my chance
But
right now, right?
What's his name? Michael. He had a player
Jesus
named Ron
Christ,
Harper
my
on that.
fucking underwear.
You remember who Ron Harper
Yes,
is?
I know who Ron Harper
All right, Ron Harper was a role player. He was a superstar at one time, no joke. He really was a great player.
Yeah.
He was with Cleveland when he was a great player. He went to the Chicago, was a role player. He won 3 championships with them as a role player. He turned around and did his job and went to the Lakers and won 3 more with Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah.
Players like that, Robert Horry, he has 6 rings. He has as many as Michael Jordan. 6 rings.
Big shot, Rob.
Right, Big Shot Rob. And Big Shot Rob was no more than he was a starter.
I argue that the reason Scottie didn't succeed outside of MJ is his ego and not his skill.
I agree with you on that, but I also will say this. Michael Jordan played in a defense and an offense that Tex Winter, who was Phil Jackson's right-hand man.
Yes.
Phil Jackson didn't know that. He had to learn it just like everybody else. Once he learned it, he perfected it. Those 2 teams he had, the Lakers and Chicago, there was no match for it because it wasn't about passing. It was about getting it to your best player. Kobe, his last year with Shaq, was the best player. The first 2 years Shaq was. That last championship, that was all Kobe.
Yeah.
Shaq will tell you now, oh yeah, we could have won 10. But Shaq's ego got in his way. Just like
Yes.
you're saying about Pippen.
Yes.
Exactly
I
like
completely
Pippen.
agree.
Pippin's ego got in his way. Where
I think
Tony Kukoc, you're going to get the
Shaq's
last
lack
shot.
of drive and his
Yeah, lazy.
If we're going to be
That's
realistic,
what
yeah,
this
whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why he has
Like,
that face in that.
Well,
one.
because the mic. Only thing you hear is.
So,
It's on Tommy.
like my perspective is right. Like, there's so many outlying factors. But like
Jesus
you said,
Christ.
if LeBron never goes to Miami and get those 2 rings, let's say he only has 2 rings in his career, is he going to ever live up to MJ? I say no. But also, if you think of if MJ didn't have Scottie, because when MJ didn't have Scottie, he was getting bounced out of the first round or not making the playoffs. And when he left, although Scottie did not play up to his potential, the entire time that he was there, he had one of, if not the best coach in NBA
All
history.
right, but when he came back the second time, it wasn't Scottie Pippen who made that team go.
Well, of course not.
It wasn't Michael either. It was Dennis Rodman. And then people laugh at that. Dennis Rodman.
He was an
He was a
incredible-
psychopath.
Yes.
Now, he said something the other day that makes me laugh. Larry Bird would be in Europe.
said that
if it was
today.
Yeah, he said that. He said that
Now,
Denver.
now he wouldn't be in the NBA today because he would be fouled out by the end of the first
Yes.
quarter.
Yes.
Basketball is not like.
So I will never argue that
See, that's why I
MJ
always
is better than
difference, the
LeBron.
era
LeBron's better than
difference.
MJ.
Right,
I think the debate
'cause
is
if you want to
stupid.
do something someday, YouTube Detroit against Chicago. YouTube it. I'm serious.
I've watched the game all the way.
They beat the shit out of him back then. Before Pippen came along, they beat the shit out of Michael.
Yes.
Michael took 1 season between seasons and got on a bodybuilding program, and he said the reason I did it is because I was getting my ass kicked.
He was a
When
freakishly
Pippen came
skinny
in,
kid.
it wasn't Pippen who was the man. They got rid of the man. His name was Charles Oakley. Charles Oakley was like hockey has your
Who
protector.
did Charles Oakley try to fight the next game?
The owner. That's the best part about that. But the thing is, what I'm saying is, every team, Kobe, he had Pau Gasol. Pau Gasol's not a Hall of Famer. Sorry, he's not. That team that he won 2
He's
championships.
fringe, but he won't make it.
He's fringe. If he does, I'll be dead and you'll be 30. Or 50. You'll be 50. You know what I'm saying? He's one of them that.
Like, that'll
you're
be
gonna
10
go
years
like,
then, you
my
better not be
God.
dead.
I remember him. That's one of those players. Chris Bosh, in my opinion, doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. I don't know. I saw that, and he was 21. He made it. And I was
You
like,
didn't
what?
even see that. We didn't even
No,
see
I
he
knew
made
he
it.
made it because he made it in the
We
COVID
didn't think
year.
he did.
No, he made it in the COVID year. So either everybody had COVID and they voted for him, because Chris Bosh didn't have a long career. He did not. He was
was
hurt most of
injured.
his career.
He's
And
had
his
those
best
blood
years are what
clots.
you said. His best years were in Toronto.
Yes.
But when he got
It was like
to,
5 years too.
But the thing is when he got to Miami, he didn't have to be the scorer.
He was averaging like
I need
what,
you to
18,
rebound.
15, 18.
Like this year, all right, who was the best player in the finals?
Best player in the finals was Jokic.
No,
No, it was
Murray.
Murray.
Well, Jamal Murray. Well, I mean, all right.
Murray
like,
in the whole playoffs was the
playing-wise,
best player,
If you're
but they
talking
gave
about-
MVP.
You said
'cause-
finals specifically.
All right, finals. It was
Because
Murray.
finals MVP is
If
specifically
you took
for
Murray
the-
out that team, are they winning?
That's you can
No,
never
no,
say
yes you
that.
can. Because when Murray wasn't there, they didn't win.
Yes, but you can say that about any one
No,
of the championship
when Murray
teams.
No, but
wasn't
last
there
year
for
when
the
Murray
last
was
2
injured,
years. He
when
was
Murray
injured.
was injured the last 2 years,
didn't
they
win.
didn't
Yes,
win it.
yeah, I know that's true. But
comes
every
back this year full force.
every single championship team that has ever been built, if you take away the second best player, arguably, because let's say in this hypothetical scenario that Jokic is the best player,
Golden State
Jamal Murray's
Warriors
second
with
best.
KD. If you take the
If
second
you
best
take
player,
the
they're
second-
still going to win it.
No, because
No, because they had
No,
that's
he's
that's
right
one
on that,
exception.
though. Think about it.
They had,
There's-
they had the best one of the
But
best
their
rosters of all
second
time.
best player at one time was Klay Thompson.
And
They-
Klay
he
Thompson
got
was
hurt.
averaging 24.
But he got hurt, and they weren't that good after that. And KD got hurt.
Exactly, that's my
All right,
point.
now
I'm
turn it
saying
around
you
this
take
year.
away the second best player
All right.
on any championship level team, that team is not winning the championship.
All right, but getting to the championship, Miami did it. They got there at least.
Without Victor Oladipo and Tyler Hero.
Hero.
I mean, Bam is technically the second best player,
No,
but
scoring-wise, it
the
wasn't.
scoring-wise
It was
is
Hero.
Hero.
I didn't know we were talking about scoring. I think we're talking about
No, no. But
No, the
but you-
overall
but,
player.
All right, basketball. Fine. Basketball.
Bam is the second best player on the
But the team we just talked about, when Murray wasn't there, Jokic couldn't carry it. He couldn't.
Yeah,
So
he
that
couldn't.
that takes me and go. LeBron carries his team, Michael carried his team, Kobe carried his team, and Shaq carried his team. I'm just naming them because I'm old enough to go. Larry Bird carried that team. Magic Johnson. See, we forget about that name. You want to compare your man LeBron to anybody? It's not Michael.
It's not my man because I don't even like him.
No. It's not.
I don't
Michael,
either.
Though. No, it's not Michael.
He's a bitch.
It's Magic. You know why? Because Magic was the same player as him. Magic was a 6'9" guard. Back then, guards were 6'1", 6'2", 6'3". LeBron is built like a brick shithouse. He is. That man is huge.
He's huge.
When he
That's
broke-
why I say that LeBron would smoke Kobe and MJ one-on-one just because he's got like 4 inches and 50
See,
pounds.
I
on
say
both.
no to that, MJ, not Kobe. I say no to that with MJ because MJ played against the Pistons. MJ played the physical
got
game.
Yeah, he did play the
You can
physical
bounce
game,
his ass out
but,
around
like-
the court and he's going to score on you.
Yeah, but also LeBron's gonna do the same thing to him because
Is
It's
he,
gonna-
though?
that's gonna be-
Is he?
But
LeBron
he?
is like, and also like those guys that were fighting against MJ, like LeBron is one of these. Is so like he is the difference between him and a Pistons player is that he is as strong as those guys beating. Let's say they're playing street ball
No way.
basketball.
No way, man. No,
He is
I can't agree with you on that.
he is so
Did you
strong.
ever see Bill Laimbeer?
Bill Laimbeer was a menace. He was
No,
strong.
He was
Sam-
retard
Sam Sally?
strong.
Yes.
I mean, he.
Father.
What?
Yeah. Also,
Oh, sorry.
that's
Yeah.
We can't say that.
My bad.
That's
Oh,
pew
yeah.
pew.
He was strong. John Sally. He played against those Edwards. Those guys were not just strong. Dennis Rodman was the wimp of that crowd. Believe it or not, he was the wimp of that crowd.
Yeah. Strength wise. Yeah.
Until they taught him how to do it. Now that team was incredible. They were the bad boys for a reason because they were dirty. They
Yeah.
would not make it in today's game. They wouldn't.
And the difference between that
Oh,
LeBron
no.
and them is like LeBron might not be as strong as them,
all
but
right,
LeBron.
all right, if the Warriors best team, the 72-win team,
Played
if they
against
played
that.
Chicago, who wins?
Are we talking like what
No,
era
no,
are we
no.
talking?
Like a
I'm talking
7-game
Michael Jordan
series.
years. Their
So
70-win.
you
Their
move
70-win
that team.
team.
You move that team down to Chicago's like years. Like,
Yes.
That team is transported to Chicago's years.
Yeah.
That's a weird argument to have because they would be the only team that really perfected the 3-point shot, and that's a weird argument to have because
They would take
at
Curry
that
out.
time,
They would take Curry out right away.
That's what
They
I was
would
going
go
to say.
out-
Steve Kerr, his coach.
'Cause,
His
like,
coach
it's-
would be
it's-
the one that took him out, too.
It's weird because like most of that physicality was happening in the paint.
And
Like,
Dennis
obviously,
Rodman
they're not,
versus
they're not going
Yes,
and tackling people on the
yes
three-point
and
line.
no, but-
they're not going to know how to
but
defend
the
three-point
landing rule wasn't there back then.
they'll
You
put a
understand
foot
what I'm
right under
saying?
your ankle.
Like Steph would go up, and the first thing Steve Kerr would do was put his foot right underneath where he's going to
shot.
land.
Also, but like,
we didn't have that rule back then.
arguably, Steph Curry is one of the best off-ball players of all time.
I wanna see
He moves
Dennis Rodman versus
he moves-
Draymond Green.
He moves so
No,
well.
I wouldn't
He
want to
moves
see
so
that.
well off-ball that like there is like he's gonna shoot. Obviously, he's gonna get like the foot under him, landing, whatever. Like the
Yeah,
landing
but
rule wasn't there.
back then the screens are laid a lot harder than they are now. Screens are delicate now because you can
Yeah,
get a
so if
foul.
let's say Draymond Green is setting those screens,
No, say that Horace Grant is sliding over, and Draymond Green's in his way.
Horace Grant's gonna run through him.
He's going to run through him, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
after he runs through him, he's going to take Steph out. That's the difference between basketball. Today's basketball, I just got my first foul.
That's
No, I'm not being crude to basketball.
I looked at the game,
Out
so I
of
thought
all
they
the
got a
sports I love to watch, I love basketball. I watch every game in the final, and I'm more a fan of it. I love watching basketball. What makes me disgusted now is
It's
the
like
game is a whistle game. It's a
they
whistle.
They rely on the refs way too much.
And another thing LeBron bothers me about him, What are you doing?
It's fine. I
Get
hate
off
that.
the
I hate
ground.
that. I hate that.
Get off
He's the one that started that
ground.
rule. They started they
No,
changed
he's
the
not
game.
the one that
Well,
really-
he did change the game because they started saying that was a technical now.
Technically, Steph Curry's the rule he made was the foot
The
rule.
landing rule.
The landing rule. This is a blowout.
Home run.
I think Florida just went yard.
Well, ain't gonna help them. They're down by 8 still.
So like LeBron right now, as like let's say LeBron as a rookie with all the skill that he had, was put into the NBA as a rookie
In
and
1985.
they would have taught him how to play
He
that.
would already
level of
known how to
basketball.
play.
He would have been like imagine how
Correct.
skilled he is now,
But
plus that physicality.
now take Michael and do the same thing with him.
And then he would have been great with the 3-point shot.
Right.
He would have.
But now here's one for you. I got a question for you.
Kobe's right in the middle of both of them.
I do consider Kobe. If you're going to consider Michael one, and Kobe, his game was implemented after Michael, there are times where I have to say that's 1B then. He played the same game. His own teammate Shaquille O'Neal has said it. I think that LeBron, and he played with both of them. He said LeBron is great,
They go back to back.
but did they? No, that,
Nah, Cruz got it.
but the thing is, what I'm saying is, look at the players we have now. Like Steph Curry's the greatest shooter. What if Larry Bird actually had the 3-pointer? Remember, Larry Bird didn't get the 3-pointer.
Until like it was almost like halfway through his career.
It was 2 years into his pro career. 2 years.
Well, halfway through his career is when it really got
But
implemented.
remember,
like,
players back
So
then
they started,
only
like,
played
using
6-7
it,
years,
using it.
never done.
'Cause
What makes a player
how-
better now
kill
is
each
LeBron
other.
is a perfect example of it. Tom Brady's a perfect example of
Longevity.
it. No, what they do off the field.
The training
yeah,
Their
regimen.
training. Their
Back
training.
then they would go and smoke cigarettes.
That also implements.
I
Like,
mean, Larry Bird
implements
had a
into-
back that he wouldn't sit on a bench. He would lay on the sideline.
Yeah, his
with
back
pillows.
was like
But
messed.
in today's game, he would have got the surgery 5 years
He
before.
would've been fixed.
And he would have been fixed. KD, he's the first player I ever saw come back from a torn Achilles.
And be
That
the
good.
same.
That good. I mean, he came back like never.
Sports medicine is a whole
It's
different
beyond
game.
what we had when we were growing up.
So that's why the argument is stupid.
Like, you should know. I'm not
I
picking on
could
you,
get-
but
I could get
you
hurt.
got hurt in football.
I tore my hamstring. I got a concussion.
Now, tearing my hamstring in my career, it's over for that year. I'm done for that year,
I played 2
possibly
weeks
half of the
later.
next year. But your physical therapy was so much better than what we had.
I mean, arguably, I made the poor choice of playing much earlier than I should have, but like, I still would have been good.
But why did you think you were ready?
I didn't. I just want to play.
I love that part, though.
That's that
The
football mentality.
Players don't have that no more.
It was 2 weeks
See,
later.
Like, here's one for you.
Do you think
No,
LeBron, when Kobe dislocated his finger, when that finger was sideways, and he went to the sideline and got it fixed, do you think LeBron would have went back in the game and
No,
played?
because players don't do that now. They don't.
Do you
Players
think when
take-
Kobe
players
tore his Achilles, do you think if
Toughness is
LeBron
something-
tore his Achilles,
No, it's
do you
not
think
about
LeBron
toughness
would
no
go
more.
shoot those
Think about
2
this.
free throws?
You have an executive running that team. Pat Riley comes
They're gonna
up to you.
protect the
Pat
player.
Riley comes in and goes, "Hey, you played 4 games in a row. Why don't you take a break?" Do you
God, I
imagine
hate
someone
that.
like
I
Magic
hate
Johnson?
that. I hate the
Magic
Kawhi
They're
Johnson
starting to
would've-
find him now.
Right, right. They
The
should
rumor
because.
going around is going to take draft picks away
And you know
soon.
who started that? Popovich with Leonard.
Kawhi.
with Leonard.
That's why he gets injured so much now.
I'm so.
He's such a great player, but he's so injury prone, bro.
Kawhi contributed so heavily to the downhill spiral of the
basketball.
NBA basketball
Yes.
that it makes me so upset.
Yep.
Because Kawhi is
Now,
such a.
I don't like Stephen A. Smith. I don't.
I don't either.
But Stephen A. Smith came out and said I would cut him. And the reason I would cut him because he's not dependable. And he goes, you have
You want
to
a
have
guy?
dependable.
Oh yeah, you have a star. You know, actually, I have a great story. I interviewed. You know Jordan Schultz,
I heard the name. Yeah.
ESPN analyst.
Yep,
I got to interview him for Capstone Project in high school.
Yep.
He told me a story. His dad owned the Supersonics, and
Yeah, Seattle.
it was so cool.
Sean Kidd.
They're gonna
It was
bring
so
that
cool.
back.
And they had it, and he and his dad interviewed Dennis Rodman. Because Dennis Rodman
Oh,
wanted to play for
Jesus
the Supersonics.
Christ.
When he was 40 years old, Dennis Rodman wanted to play for the Supersonics.
I would have taken him at that age. I didn't know.
Yeah, so he was
No,
already
that-
at that
He already
point.
married
So
himself.
this-
He already married
this is
himself.
what happened, right? Dennis Rodman said, I'll come and play for you, and I'll play in the playoffs, and I'll do everything that you've seen me do. I'll be the best player on the basketball court when it comes to rebounding and playing defense. However, I'm going to take the whole regular season
Yep.
off.
Yeah.
And you know, they said, you don't want that.
Now remember, this is the same
But
guy.
why would you want
This is
that?
the same guy in the playoffs that after they clinched the series went to the coach and said, "I need 4 days in Las Vegas." Don't ever forget that story.
Yeah, Dennis
Rod-
Rodman's a weirdo.
But one thing Rodman would give you, he'd give you his heart, why it was beaten. That was one thing I will always give him credit
He'd
for.
rip it out of his chest and give it to you.
Yes, he would. But you
Physically,
don't
he
have.
actually would.
But the thing is, you don't have a name a player in the NBA that would do that
Right now?
right now.
I couldn't think of a single one.
I feel
No,
like
I could.
Jokic would.
I think
Uh,
no. You know.
No, Jokic doesn't even care about basketball. What?
No, but
That's
that
his
guy-
second
no,
favorite thing
that
to
guy
do.
Who cares
Murray.
about Warriors?
That guy Murray this year, he would. I think
Jimmy
he would.
Butler.
Jimmy Butler, he's another one. That guy.
Oh yeah, I would say Jimmy
guys
Butler.
like that.
Jimmy Butler's the closest thing to a Kobe MJ type.
He's the closest thing to 80s basketball.
King.
I said the same thing.
I don't
really
care.
is, he really is.
He really is.
Literally.
I mean, you saw him in the bubble. He was playing he played every minute of every playoff game.
And he did it this year too, other than the sprained ankle with Knicks.
No,
And he still played on it.
No, he sat out the first game. Remember?
Yeah, but then he kept playing.
But then he come back, and that's why I think in the finals he was done. He had no lift. He had nothing left.
I think the series would have been much closer if he was healthy.
I think if they had Hero, it would have been much closer.
Oh yeah, like their whole roster, but
Because
also
you guys can talk about the draft picks that worked.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, this game's over. The national championship trophy is getting engraved right now. LSU.
top of the 8th.
Yeah, I mean you're up by what, 8?
Yeah.
You know,
So this is why the debate's stupid. Obviously, I'm gonna argue to the day I die. Like MJ, you can't argue
We're
with
always gonna argue
LeBron.
this.
You cannot argue MJ and LeBron because two different eras, two completely different games of basketball. They played they conformed to what basketball was.
I'm gonna leave
so
after
that's
this
why.
one.
Yeah. So that's why I can't argue with LeBron and MJ.
You ever hear the story
LeBron
about-
versus Kobe, however.
Did you ever hear the story that LeBron went to a tournament and they were playing a tournament and that night the Lakers were playing and he went over the thing and he met Kobe. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" Kobe's like, "Yeah, I haven't heard of your kid. You know, he was a senior. He knew what he was." And Kobe after the game hands him his sneakers. Now, Kobe is a size less than LeBron. LeBron took those sneakers and for the rest of the season thought he would wear them. I'm gonna wear Kobe's sneakers during the game. But 2 games into it, he got nasty blisters. So he took them off. He said, "I'm never going to wear these again." When he got to the pros, he put Jordans on. Kobe looked down at him.
I remember this story.
And he goes, "You think you're going to be the greatest, huh?" And he goes, "You're wearing my sneakers, and now you're wearing Michael's. Good luck." And walked away. LeBron said at first, I was like, what's he talking about? Everybody wears Michael's. And one of his teammates said, "That's his point. Everybody wears Michael's. It don't matter who you are. Everybody wears Michael's. They lift your shoe, even if it's LeBron's shoe.
Yeah.
On the bottoms.
Because he was iconic, and that's the thing.
That's why you can't compare them, though.
because
it's a terrible argument. Because let's say if you switch the two of them,
right,
and then you put LeBron in the exact same situation as Michael, there is a possibility that LeBron does the same stuff that he does, right?
No.
He's a different player, obviously, but let's say there's a hypothetical, and then he goes and he's as physical and he's as skilled of a basketball player as he is, and he learns that physicality, and he's put on the Bulls with one of the best coaches of all time, with Scottie Pippen.
But when LeBron did get to the NBA, it was still physical. It was still physical.
Yeah, and he did play well in it.
Mm-hmm. He played better after 2010.
Well, because he
adapted to the game.
First, he was 18 years old when he got.
So wasn't Kobe.
Yeah, and Kobe had a terrible first.
So wasn't Moses Malone. So wasn't Daryl Dawkins. So this argument you're going with.
Yeah, I'm saying if you're talking
what
about
the hell?
All right, Kobe's first 2 years in the league were also they were not.
He sat on the bench and earned his
See, this
spot.
is where you're wrong. See, you guys brought that up earlier. The first year he sat. The second year he made the All-Star team as an 18-year-old.
Well, that's what I'm not saying. Okay,
but he wasn't a starter.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the key.
So this is what I'm trying to say.
Impressive.
I'm not trying to say that
Harris
Kobe's.
did get fired.
I'm not saying Kobe was
Kobe
bad.
sat in the bench.
I'm saying he wasn't. Obviously, he just wasn't what he was.
He wasn't shaped yet.
Because this is what happens with the high school players.
But they threw LeBron into a
situation. The high school players had to develop a little more.
But they threw LeBron. And Cleveland's biggest mistake was doing what they did. LeBron got thrown into a position that team sucked. And we can all go, yeah, his rookie year he averaged 26 points. That's because nobody else scored. They sucked.
They did.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
So LeBron was a one-man team.
Yeah, he was.
LeBron left because of the one-man team, went to Miami, to see what it's like to have teammates. Now, look at his stats. Where did his assists go up when he got to Miami? But it's easy to pass to a Hall of Famer. When he got back to Cleveland, his career averages
are more than what was in Miami. His career averages since the 7.
No, stop with the career thing. We're talking the first 4 years with Cleveland, then with Miami. His numbers are better with Miami, correct?
No, his numbers, his last 2 years in Cleveland at 24, 25, he averaged 40.
Well, no, so
wait, that's regular season. Hold up, time to go up.
Stop points. Go with his assists. You told me he was 7.3 earlier.
So his assists, his first 2 seasons in the league. Well, also,
I can't see what that second number is.
Yeah, so he played how many minutes per game?
It's in the It's in the beginning.
It should be minutes per game.
Yeah,
so
by the way, they're bringing in the guy with the mustache.
Yeah, Squins.
They don't have minutes per game on this, but he played significantly less minutes.
He started 79. He played 79 games. There you go.
So he had 5.4 for his rookie year, which obviously it's his rookie year, and he played less minutes. Then 6.1, then 5.6, 5.3, and then he had 6.4 in 2007. Then he had 6.9, then 7.9, and he consistently, and then he actually went underneath. That was like his last 3 years in Cleveland before he went to Miami. His assist numbers were higher than
when he was on
Miami.
Miami and got there. He wasn't the best player. D Wade was already established.
Yeah, D Wade was.
That first year they won the championship. That's when D Wade went right behind LeBron. Went, all right, this is your team now.
But then D Wade still won the Finals MVP that year.
Yes, the first championship.
Why the hell do they have him ranked as a center?
One of them, right?
No, LeBron won him.
Why is he a center?
I mean, every
Oh
championship
no, D Wade won the one. D Wade won the one before
He won the one
LeBron
with
got
Shaq.
there,
With the Shaq year.
Yep.
Can someone answer this question for me?
Is we cannot say, and you can say we're not in his head. I agree, but he went there because he needed to go there. It'd be like you. All right, Kevin brought up the Chicopee High thing. You know, say your high school was good, but they weren't great. He had a friend Delgado who was at Chicopee High. He went to Central because Central was a power, and he knew he could go farther with Central. LeBron did the same thing. He looked at that team like, I'm going to go there.
Yeah, you can't like
But
that. Shouldn't be a shot on his legacy.
No, it's not a shot on his legacy.
It shouldn't. It
But
shouldn't
if we're
deter
gonna,
us from
hold on here.
comparing
If you're
him
going to
to
kill
MJ.
KD, you got to put
Well,
LeBron
yeah.
right behind
Well,
him
here's the thing. Like, you can say that. Like, oh yeah, like LeBron went to Miami
to get a ring. Yes.
You can say that. But okay, what about KD? KD was in OKC.
But we
Then
all
he
know
went
that.
to-
We
then
said
he went to
that.
Golden State.
He went to the team that beat him in the playoffs that year.
That was
So
more
Then he went to
embarrassing,
Golden
though.
State, and then he went to Brooklyn,
Right,
and then he went to Arizona. That's
No,
three
no,
times.
no. Phoenix, I'm not going to say that yet. I'm not yet.
Well, he saw Devin Booker, he saw
CP3.
DeAndre Ayton,
and he saw Paul too, but he made sure Paul
Chris
went away.
Paul. But then Chris Paul went away. They got Bradley Beal. That's another super team. Because
But no bench.
yeah, well, obviously, but he saw the star power. This is the same thing.
I agree with you
every
on
year.
that.
You can't compare
But he also
like
didn't
ring
think
chasing
that-
from LeBron and ring chasing from KD.
No,
Because
but
he did it three
I'm not
separate
saying
times.
compare it. What I'm saying to you though is you cannot just put KD on that list. LeBron did the same thing.
Well, I'm not giving
Kevin Garnett did the same thing. Ray Allen.
Kevin Love
did
the same thing.
No. He got cut off his contract.
Oh yeah.
Love got cut. What I'm saying though is even Ray Allen did it. He did it twice. He did it just as many times as KD.
But you think if MJ was in the same situation, if MJ was on a Cleveland team and
No.
MJ's Cleveland team was awful,
No, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Chicago wasn't
Back
that
then-
good in '85.
Back then, they didn't do that. They didn't.
Remember,
They built
Chicago
it-
sucked
they-
before
but
Jordan.
back
Well,
then, the
MJ had-
free agency wasn't big. You built through the draft. All his players, Pippen, Horace Grant, they were all drafted by Chicago. Lakers,
yeah,
Magic
but
Johnson.
Cleveland didn't do that because every time that Cleveland like
Michael
screwed all
Jordan
their
killed
drafts. Cleveland's drafts when
Oh,
LeBron was there, when he was first there.
You mean when they could have drafted Michael Jordan and they drafted Brad Doherty?
No, I'm talking.
No.
Well, Brad Doherty was really good. No.
What year was that?
Well, obviously, I would never. But like, this is what I'm trying to say. Like,
What year was he drafted?
Oh,
Jordan.
when LeBron was in Cleveland,
83,
when LeBron
82.
was in Cleveland, their executives, their coaching,
Oh,
and the
horrible,
players around him.
horrible.
Not only was the team bad, but their drafts were awful
But
too.
to
They
be
weren't
honest-
getting
but-
any better.
but when
It's
Michael-
MJ
when
for
Michael,
6
no,
years.
When Michael got to the Bulls, they were the laughing stock of the NBA.
Yes,
Tommy
for
Why do you think they got
2
him?
years.
Tommy
No
Lillard.
way, Chicago
Tommy
sucked
Lillard.
forever.
With 8, look at the.
The first 2 years that he got there, I'm saying.
They
And
were
then
mediocre.
Because they had
That's
who,
it.
who was the coach? And then Phil
don't
Jackson
fucking know.
got there, and
No,
Cleveland
no.
never got a Phil Jackson.
Well, no, they really did, but they didn't let him go. His name was Ty Lue.
That was after. That was the
that's his
second
championship.
stint. That's the second stint.
But
Yes,
that's his
yes.
championship.
But you would.
all right, hold on.
You're leading into my point right now. Let me finish
No, I'm
what
not
I'm
because
saying.
the guy for Sacramento. Who's the coach for Sacramento Kings right now?
What's his name again?
Mike Brown.
Yes. Wait,
Who
is
got
that
him fired in Cleveland? LeBron got him fired in Cleveland.
Well, he's been in Sacramento for like 10 years.
No, he hasn't. It's first year because he was.
Wait, no, Sacramento.
He was
no,
with San
I'm thinking
Antonio
of
as
Dan
a
Brown,
bench
I'm thinking of
coach.
Mike- I'm thinking
Jesus
of,
Christ!
yeah.
After
So what
the
I'm
year
saying
after
to you, though,
MJ
is-
left, the Bulls went 13-37. Holy shit!
When who left?
When MJ left in '98.
Well, also in '98, I think Phil Jackson was gone.
And I think there was
Yeah,
a.
those
that was-
they all left that one year. Scottie Pippen, they all left.
Think about it. Think about it like this. This is what I'm trying to say.
Damn.
In the first 6 years that LeBron was in Cleveland, if in 6 years you cannot get past that playoff boundary because your team's bad and your executives and your coaches are doing nothing to make it better, you think that if MJ was in that same situation, because MJ was in a very different situation, because his first 2 years, when Phil Jackson came after his second year in the NBA, and then they started drafting well, if there was 6 years of the same coaching staff and the same mediocrity and not making
All
it
right,
to the playoffs,
I gotta
you
drop the
really
mic.
think
I
that
gotta
MJ
drop the
would
mic
leave?
here for you. Earlier, you told me that he left because we weren't in his head, right? You said that Chris Paul or D Wade was his friend and everything.
I'm saying it's a
All right,
possibility.
hold
I'm
on.
not gonna
I'm
assume.
going to drop the mic right now. He left because Cleveland sucked. and he needed to win a championship.
So Cleveland sucked.
And he went to. Why didn't he go to the Celtics? Celtics had Durant. They had Paul Pierce, and they had Ray Allen. Ray Allen didn't leave yet.
Yes.
Why didn't he go there? No, he went because his friend was there. And Pat Riley was a championship executive and coach and player. He knew what he had in Cleveland sucked.
Yes.
It's not that Cleveland sucked.
I agree with you.
And by the way, he still has a house in Cleveland.
He
still goes to Cleveland.
He made a school.
Right. But no, what I'm saying to you is Cleveland does suck. I've been there. It's a desolate area. It sucks.
Yes.
But my point is he literally went back to where he started to bring them a championship. So Cleveland's always going to be in his heart.
Yes.
And he didn't go to the Lakers for a championship.
Yes.
He went to the Lakers because he owns a production company that made part 2 of Michael Jordan's movie. You see what I'm saying?
I'm so with you on
he went
this.
to that Cube thing that's on TV with D Wade. He, at the end, read it. Executive producer LeBron James.
He also produced the PLO.
Right. He went down there because of his business opportunities, not because he wanted to be a Laker.
Yeah, sure.
This is why he doesn't get a trophy in LA.
He
doesn't get a statue. I don't believe that. He should.
Oh, like a statue.
One championship don't give you a statue.
Also, why that? No offense to all you people out there. Why is Bill Russell's number retired across the whole league?
Should be.
Why isn't Kobe's?
No.
When MJ dies, will his be retired across the
Because
whole
he
league?
played 13 years and had 11 championships. That's why. And he was also the coach of one of those teams and a player. No, Kobe's number shouldn't be retired.
But when MJ dies, will MJ's number get retired?
No. You don't understand something. Bill Russell is iconic. I don't care if he played against plumbers, J.J. Redick. Okay, J.J. Redick? You could be J.J. Redick.
He's about as tall as J.J. Redick.
But what I'm saying is, you guys, your generation, J.J. Redick is the sum of you guys. Don't trash the old guys. Charles Barkley didn't have a ring. But you know what? I would put Charles Barkley against anybody in today's game when Charles Barkley was in prime, and they couldn't stop him. He's 6'4", and he could out-jump Shaq. And he's a fat man now.
Freak athlete.
But what I'm saying to you is, this generation forgets about that generation too fast. Stop. Larry Bird, give him the
Barkley's in my top 15.
But give Larry Bird the three-pointer in his whole career, and I think Steph Curry's got a challenge.
But that's the thing. That's
we can't
that's
do
what
that.
makes this tough. It's all hypothetical.
Right.
And at the end of the day,
but again, you can't say
no
to me,
debate that
you
we'll
can't
ever
say
know.
to me Michael would get his ass kicked by LeBron. Know why? Because you're never going to see it.
That's true.
You're never going to see
right.
it. You never. I mean, LeBron can never do it, and Michael can't do it because Michael's in his late 50s now.
You're right.
So we can't compare. But what we can do is, who's the best player of the 60s? Who's the best player of the 70s? Who's the best player of the 80s?
Eras, decades.
That's how I would rather see people do it. But people go, Michael could kill him.
Kobe can't even.
Kobe had his years as the best player in the game.
Yeah, but I'm saying
But
like one-on-one.
But like Michael and Magic had their years, and then Michael came along. Then Michael had his years. You had a lull after Michael left. Hate to tell you.
I can't show it on camera.
Like, this is why I think the GOAT debate's stupid. I think there's greatest per generation. That's what I've always argued.
Tom Brady ain't the greatest quarterback ever.
It's Joe Montana.
No.
I agree with you.
Yes! Yes! Joe Montana!
Now you got his 49ers going.
No, I don't care. Joe Montana is the greatest quarterback ever.
God. Nah. It's Lamar Jackson.
I think that's a good time to end this off.
Alright. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate all you guys. I'm going to be breaking down this video myself to make it into own little videos. So keep your eye out for those. And if you guys hit that subscribe button, join the KBM Sports Talk family. Show some love to Tommy. I put both of his Instagrams in the chat in the description. So go follow those and follow your boy on Instagram. It's in the description. And see ya.
Peace.